Hello,
Let his
everybody,
dreams be dreams.
and welcome to
I was always
Mass Effect 2173. Yeah, it's been a long time since we played, because of things and the stuff and non-snow and things. So, hello, how y'all doing?
Wow.
I said 73. I'm at 4. I think actually the stream might even say 2173, but I meant 4. Like if you check like the title.
It does.
Yeah, I think it does. Hold on. Where is it? It's too much work right now. I don't care.
Well done.
Yeah, that's all right. So what's up? How's everybody doing?
Does the stream start on New Year's? Is that how you're gonna get away with that?
I mean, there was fireworks, so you know.
Oh, hey, nice. So it's been a while since we actually got to play this because of all the other fun little things that have happened recently. So let's pick up where the other characters left off really quickly. Let's see, Frank. You are
Sid Mac running towards the ship after hearing a loud boom.
and Rick. You are.
James Carmine, I just shot dinner.
and you're sitting next to your friend still.
He was the boom.
Ollie, you are.
In a hole, Icarus, robot, in a hole, just saved 2 people's lives, but I failed a medicine check, so I thought I killed them. And I saw the ship, like, crash right next to me.
Yep. And lastly, Erin, you are.
Constantina, and I crashed.
To be fair, though, I think 3 of you crashed, right? So, nope, just 2
I mean,
of you.
I made the grander
I
entrance,
crashed in an
obviously.
escape pod.
Yeah. You crashed in the escape pod. He crashed in the ship. Frank just crashed like several months ago. But you know,
Yeah, he
still...
crashed.
Yeah.
Past tense.
I crashed a ship using another ship.
Then Icarus realizes that crashing is probably not optimal for survival, and so avoided the scenario entirely.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, it
Awesome.
worked out for me.
So we're actually going to pick up with Rick first, with the camera kind of panning up to you, sir. As you said, you just shot dinner. We're going to say that, you know, a couple minutes ago you had shot the thing, and, you know, you're right next to your friend over there. You had shot the thing, and it flopped to the side. You'd gone over to, like, poke it, you know what I mean? More or less make sure it's still alive. Would you do another bullet, or you're afraid that the buckshot would, like, ruin the meat?
Omni tool.
All right, cool. So you go over, make sure it's dead
Omni
and
blade,
whatnot.
really.
Cut it, the blade, cut it open. Once you actually get past that, like, very thick carapace skull, as we had discussed beforehand, you realize that it does have thick flesh. Like, it is tough to cut into, but not really for the Omni blade. Only if you had like a regular combat knife or something would you have to worry about it, you know. So you go over there, you cut it open, and you start, like, you know, giving it the sniff or whatever and trying to see what it is. Between you and your friend, it was silent for a few moments as you kind of like were assessing the situation. You realize, okay, the danger is done. There's nothing happening right now. It's safe. So you go ahead. We'll pick it up with you. All right, so dead on.
I just look back at him. He's still lying there injured.
Yeah,
Like,
he's only alive because of you.
yeah, it's great. He owes me.
Mm-hmm.
I'll just, you know, yell at him to shut up, and I'll check the perimeter real quick because, you know, we just crashed. You know, I don't know about the area.
Yeah, you did just crash. So, well, just like shut up over there, and you go outside to like check the perimeter. All right, cool. Because obviously the shotgun made a decent sized noise. Could you do me a favor, Sid? Could you roll me a perception check?
Yes, I can.
I said Sid.
If I can find it.
Oh.
There it is.
Yeah, Rick, you're not Sid.
Where
I
are
mean, I
the
figured, you know,
3
checking
roll
out the.
buttons on here?
That's fine.
One is for 2d6, one is for 3d6, one is for 4d6.
Oh, that's right. Some of you guys didn't get to use the new format. So the first of the 3 dice is for 2, like Ollie just said. The other one's for 3D drop 1. The last one's for 4D drop 2. And that's because sometimes you guys have like specialties inside the different things, or maybe you're using party pool of dice or whatever the case may be. And of course, your party pool of dice as of right now is 0.
Wah, wah.
Ooh.
We don't have luck. Two of you crashed.
Hmm.
We have like anti-luck.
I mean, mission accomplished. So well.
That's true. You did accomplish your mission.
You're getting paid at
So,
the end of this.
Sid, you're going to get no extra. You're not going to really notice anything. So that's going to be over to you, Rick. So you go out to the broken chunk of the ship, walking out of it and looking around to check the perimeter. To check the perimeter, you can roll me a intelligence or wisdom survival check, or you can just roll me a perception wisdom. Your call.
I'm gonna go with perception wisdom
Perfect.
because I'm actually not in the negative for like the first time ever on that.
Nice. So you come out of the ship and you get your shotgun out. You get your shotgun out and you're looking around, trying to make sure there's not another one of these things. Trying to make sure things are safe out here. As I described to you last session in the prequel, you had noticed eyes on you. You're probably assuming that the eyes you noticed on you was this creature, but let's not sit comfortable in that assumption. And so you're searching around for a little bit. As you're looking around, and you're being rather thorough, Sid, you notice the footprints coming too late. Like, it's too soon for you to have been able to react. All of a sudden, you see like a shadow coming around the corner. Someone's coming around the corner. You have no idea who it is. They're clearly coming from where that gunshot was in the ship. But the gunshot was a couple minutes ago. What do you do?
Like,
So
we
I know
come
it's a
around the corner
gunshot.
and-
Do they sound like heavy footprints?
They do sound like heavy footprints. One of them even heavier than the other. But they do sound like heavy footprints. And this is 1 foot heavier than the others. I mean, my apologies. And the gunshot, remember we discussed, it sounded like, an advanced weapon. That
Yeah.
was weeks ago real life, so I don't mind reminding you.
Yeah, like,
She's-
details are a bit fuzzy.
That's all
She's
right.
also just gonna whip around and start shooting at it.
Oh, so you're
Look.
like assuming it's a bad guy?
This is obviously what the slash beast just fucking wounded. That's trying to now get up on her because it already knows she's there.
You know that you were kind of prowling behind a beast. You were like falling behind a beast that was like prowling ahead of you, that was
Yep.
hunting something, and you heard a gunshot go after you had followed it for a while. So you know that this isn't a beast. You can see the shadow as a person, but feel free to open fire.
I
if
can
you'd
see
like.
it's a person? Okay,
Mhm.
never mind then. If I can see the shadow is not the beastie, then still whip around, try like fumble for the gun, and point it at the shadow.
Awesome. So you kind of like point in that direction. Do me a favor, Rick. Could you please roll me a perception charisma check?
Sure.
She could have done a pistol intelligence actually. So more or less, what you were doing is when you come walking around the corner and you see Sid standing there. When you can walk around the corner and you see Sid standing there, you can see like clearly there was a bit of a fumble to get the gun out and get it ready. And there was a surprise, so this person wasn't like lying in wait for you to come around the corner. You would surprise them just about as much as they surprised you. Though I imagine you don't show really any surprise in your character. The two of you see each other for the first time. Feel free to re-describe your characters because not everybody saw the prequel. And let's go ahead. We're gonna start with you, Frank.
So, damn, why'd you have to start with me? Now if you remember things. So yeah, Sid is dressed in very kind of beige-looking clothes. If you think of how an Australian rancher would dress, like in the 1920s, it's most likely that. Leather jacket. He has his hair cut short, with kind of just multiple dyes through it. Very slim, and he's holding a Colt 1911.
Nice.
Classic.
Nice. So that's your turn. Rick, describe yourself. And the Colt,
Right,
the
around
Colt
the corner.
my apologies, is the gun in your hand, is it like a little shaky, or do you feel like once you let those nerves pass, you're good?
Yeah, it's held straight, not really. Oh no, I don't know your gun. I'm scared.
Shaky is like a little shaky, not like a...
No.
It only takes 1 degree.
We're not playing a
the gun's
survival
pretty
game here.
Steady, but yeah, he's definitely holding it with both hands.
Cool. Awesome. And
Alright.
Go ahead, Rick. Sorry to interrupt you.
Around the corner comes walking James Carmine, out with his silver shotgun, leading the way. Basically, like, pointing it wherever he's looking, making sure the perimeter is clear. He's got himself a leather jacket as well, and, like, a tiny little armor plate on his chest, which is almost just for show. Like, it's only a couple of layers of uranium, probably. You know, you'd probably not get the impression that it's really the thing that keeps him alive. He's got it kind of tucked away under, like, his shirt and things like that. He looks surprisingly not military. He took his helmet off because he's now not in a vacuum in space anymore, so, you know, he doesn't need that anymore. Helmets are for suckers.
Absolutely. There you go. I always love the fact that in the game you could just take your helmet off and it didn't affect anything. It just was magically on for the scenes that needed it, not when you didn't, and the headshots didn't matter. So, all right, so you guys are there facing each other. Please, start up with the RP.
You don't look like a Batarian.
Holding the gun towards you, it's like, no, and you don't look much like a slaver.
No, not really. It's not where my interests lie. I prefer to shoot them, honestly.
Well, that makes two of us. And he just, takes the gun away, holsters it.
Carmine will lower the weapon. He's still holding it, but he's no longer pointing it at you. So, local?
It depends. Where are you from?
I point at the wreckage. Space.
Yeah? Well, we're all from space.
Can you tell me anything about the Batarians around here?
I'm looking for, the sheet with the information on the planet. I'm sorry.
Oh, that's funny. 1 second.
I actually kept it open
Kinda
all
lost
month
it.
because I would forget otherwise.
You're talking about for Tyerma.
Yes, that
one. I'm sorry, I didn't know that's what you're looking for. I would have tossed that your way ages ago.
I'm like, where on the Insidium portal could it be?
It's on the Skype chat. Bam. Tyerma.
There we go. Thank you.
Yeah.
Now I can actually be a local.
I was like, what is he doing?
Stalling for time while I look. That was TI. Yeah, so arms kind of outstretched. Sid just looks at the person across from her and just says, "Well, welcome to Tirma."
Doesn't look like a friendly place.
He just laughs and is like, "Oh, you don't know the half of it."
He just kind of shrugs and is like, don't suppose you've seen any Batarians around here recently?
Only good Batarians are dead Batarians.
Reminded
You're telling me.
Frank, the show you saw in the sky. Obviously, you were able to identify all those, but you didn't see any Batarians per se. Go ahead.
So, do you get shot down or just waves towards the sky?
Yeah. Took a bit more damage than we liked.
Looks over at the other half of the ship. Yeah, Sid just kind of goes a little silent. Pulls out the dog tags that they picked up. It's like, these belong to your crew?
Bunch of mercenaries. But I would like to return them if you don't mind. You know, it's for next of kin, that sort of thing.
They nod and hand you a couple of the the dog tags.
Alright, I don't suppose you know any settlement near here? I have a +1 I need to take care of. Or rather, who needs taken care of.
Well, there's a couple farmsteads, but only one settlement.
Right. He needs medical treatment, as you could probably imagine.
Sid just kind of looks up at the sky, just kind of eyes rolling up. It's a little dark for that, don't you think? It's a little dangerous here at night.
Well, we best get to a safe area quick then.
Okay.
At this,
Oh, sorry. Go ahead. If you're still going.
no, at this point, Carmine's gonna be like, the name's Carmine. I'm gonna get my associate, and he just walks off. Shotgun once again pointing in front of him.
So you turn back to actually go back into the ship.
Yeah, I'm gonna get my friend.
Awesome.
Apparently things are clear enough
Explodes.
around here that there's random humans walking around.
Yeah.
They're gonna be picking around the crash site, so now's the time to move.
Okay, awesome. So you go heading back that way. Now, Sid, don't forget, you did have your friends that kind of like dragged his feet and came with you. But when that gunshot went off, they went and hid. They were like, yeah, I'm not going to be a part of that. So they were not a part of this conversation. He's going back to get his friends, okay? So you go back into the shipwreck and go see your friend. As you come walking in, oh, so, you know, having good stuff.
Looks to be humans around here, so can't be too bad. I'll try and find you a place to. He just looks at this at his stomach for a bit, where the I believe he had an iron rod through his stomach or his
Pretty bad.
chest. Yeah.
It's like a hunk of metal. Yeah, it's pretty bad. Yeah, I think I know how to cook this thing up because I'm getting a little bit hungry over here. I mean, it's like a big hole in my stomach. You know what I'm saying?
With that hole, I'm not sure eating would do you any good anyway. We need to keep moving. Apparently, this place is not safe at night, and a crash site is not going to be the ideal place to stay.
I think you're scared them all away or something. You know, a big boom and stuff. You know what I'm saying? That's all right. I'm pretty big. I'll scare him for you. You know, a scrawny little man like you.
You don't scare shit right now. Just shut up and come with me. And I try to like help him up without causing too much pain.
Yeah, he'll have like you under one arm, and he'll have like his gun under the other arm, which of course is not Lena, because you took it back. It'd be the assault rifle under the other arm. It's like try to use it as like a crutch to stand himself up. Which on one hand you're like, I get it, but on the other hand you're like, oh, it's such a good gun. Why would you do that to it? So you get him back up onto his feet, and because of the slant of the ship, as I described beforehand, because like how it had crashed, it's like a struggle to help him get down. As a matter of fact, could you roll me an exert strength check?
Ooh. Snake eyes.
You're feeling a little bit hungry, you cook this thing up, you got, I'm where you want to come out and lift him. That gonna be a problem. You're not gonna know what to do.
This is bad. So you're gonna lift him up and move him forward. So as you guys are walking forward, the thing is that he's so heavy because he's like this big guy, right? He's so heavy and he's kind of like moving in ways that you can't fully predict because he's like hobbling down with this huge thing. So you're trying to like hold him up so he doesn't flop forward with the slope going on here. Issue is, at one point in time, he just goes a way that you don't expect, and you try to like grab him to pull him in, but you just can't. You can't stop him. And so he goes flying down, but because you held on to him, this is because of the natty one, because you held on to him so tight, like trying to catch him up, you actually end up like flopping on top of him too, and you guys like roll down the slope together. The slope's not so extreme that you roll for ages. There's only a couple of tumbles. But the issue is because the huge gash in his side.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's go, motherfucker, what's your job? And it just starts pissing blood. Like, it is not okay right now.
Yeah, I'm gonna get the med kit out again.
Yeah.
And I'll make a medicine check, if possible, to like make sure that stops pissing blood. Sounds like a bad thing. There we go. I can keep him going, it's fine.
Well, I mean, that's a really good roll. So, the damage was pretty extreme. So, what you're able to do right there is kind of like slow down the bleeding, but you weren't able to bring it to a full stop like you were able to before. Maybe with some time and so on and so forth, but for now, it's just, yeah, it's still leaking a little. You know what I mean? And you already knew it was going to get infected. Now you're just like, fuck. I hope I didn't just rupture a few more of his organs. Jesus.
Yeah, that could be some internal bleeding right there.
Obviously, Frank, you went off to go get your friend. And so
Yep.
when you went off to go, meet up with where he was hiding and kind of pop around the corner and be like, hey, you over there? He's like, hey, you were talking to somebody? Who was that?
I don't know. Some guy named James or something.
I just said Carmine.
Oh. Some guy named Carmi.
That sounds like a nice name. Is he a nice guy?
Apparently this is his ship.
I wouldn't brag about that.
Neither would I, but...
So people survived?
I didn't see anyone else, and Sid holds up a couple of the dog tags that she kept in her pocket.
Hmm?
But not a lot. So
Yeah.
maybe we got scavrites here. I wonder how much water they have.
I was gonna say, I don't know if they would care since it's his ship. If do you think the power core is something that we can? Because we need it, right? That's why we're here.
Oh, think if they have a water purifier though. That would be even better.
Water purifier. That is there water around here? Kind of like
Probably
looking
on the
around.
ship. They have to have stores, rations, an armory.
A ship like this, do you think that they have like a set place where all the food is, or do you think it's like just everywhere throughout the ship?
Man, if this is from old Earth, it's probably full of food.
How long is he waiting for us? He says as his stomach starts to grumble.
I'll keep him distracted. Grab whatever you can.
I'll go look and see if I can. And so he kind of goes off and starts trying to look for things here and there to see if they can find food. So he like sneaks off, but sneaks off is like goes and climbs into that hunk of metal, and that's when you hear, you hear all that shit going on over there. Do you stay where you are? Do you like run over to it or
Casually jog.
casually jog over there? You get over there as he's like done being patched up, and Carmine's grabbing his arm and trying to like help him back up. Okay.
Whoa, there's two of you.
I did just say to you that I was gonna get my +1.
Just shrugging, just like, I don't know what that means.
Very smart.
Whoa. +1 intelligence. Exiles. They don't know common lingo.
So
Bear in mind, this is a Russian planet. We got Russian idioms, not English ones.
yeah.
Sid
got
is
the extra
probably
potato.
speaking Russian right now, which is
You speaking
Probably-
Russian, comrade?
You mean I
Probably
could speak
Frank's
with
favorite
Russian
thing.
accent, but I usually forget how Russian accent goes, so I don't use Russian
it's
accent.
space Russian. It
Yeah.
doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. It's watered down in its own ways. So, Frank, as you guys are down at the bottom of the hole there, roll me a survival intelligence check, please, and thank you.
When the stupid modifier thing pops up right as I hit roll.
Yeah, unfortunately, it's useful when you need it. So, with your 6 right there, you're going to continue, of course, the plan that you came up with. You obviously know this is what you're doing. So, your plan right now is to get out of here and start making your way towards a village, right? At first, Carmine was going to hunker down for the night, but now you're like, we can actually probably get to where somebody might be. Because you happen to know where a small little area is that's not terribly far from here. It's not a small little area. The actual city area is not terribly far from here, but you're not going to be able to get there before nightfall. You know what I mean? You're also...
Oh, I thought it was already night.
Yeah. So, So you're trying to get... Wait. Oh, yeah, you're trying to... My apologies. Sorry. You're getting out of here so you're not in, like, the most, like, pulling attraction to its site for nighttime, which is when it's dangerous, and you want to be able to get there before nightfall tomorrow. So that you guys are trying to head out to go that way. Icarus, you come back online, and you notice that there is the bodies next to you. You check them, and they are just not doing okay at all. And you look at them and you're like, oh shit. You know,
Yeah, if I remember
head.
correctly, it's like they're dead.
They're dead. Yep. There was, of course, no emotion involved into it, right?
Yeah.
So
I'm a robot.
and so you look up to the cliff, and you see that there is, like a bit of a cliff over your heads and to look through. Roll me a perception wisdom check, please, sir.
Boop. Boop. Boop.
11. So you do notice that there is somebody up there, kind of like hidden behind a bit of like the viney bush that seems to be watching you.
I turn my flashlight on and just
Like,
at them.
let's see. Roll me a perception charisma check, please, sir.
Because I mean, it's not really that subtle. Because I imagine as soon as my eyes turn back on, I'm glowing anyway. So.
So you when you do that, all of a sudden you see that the person kind of like shrunk in to like where they are, and they're clearly like trying to just stay hidden, like hoping that you don't notice that they're there, even though you clearly notice that there's something there. So immediately you're able to get the idea this person is obviously not trying to ambush me. We're trying to spy on me. Go ahead.
Can I get up there in some way?
Yeah, actually, it would be an exert strength check, but it's not very difficult, just a 6.
Yeah, and I'm still in empowered mode because that lasts until I turn it off, I think.
Sure.
So I have an extra modifier to it, but I don't think I
mean,
actually have my stuff. So I'll just give myself an extra +1 for it.
No problem. You technically went offline for a little while there, but you would just wake up back online in the mode that you were in, which is fine.
Exactly. Yeah. That's
And,
what I was thinking.
Frank, can you add 4 to the party pool of luck for me, please?
Yes.
So I turn the light off and then start heading up that way.
Absolutely. So, and then you go over to the thing. Why don't you do me a favor, because you're a robot, so it's a little bit harder to imagine until we get used to it. Describe to me how it is that you're trying to climb up this small cliff.
So, Icarus is a cargo robot. He's designed to carry things when he goes into sort of siege mode. Like, everything locks and extends, and it goes from, like, pure white to there'd be, like, yellow, stripy, like, support struts and things as things open up. So it'd be sort of one of those things where there's an optimal route where he can, like, kind of walk, but also, like, go occasionally to, like, just haul him. Because he can lift his entire body weight just to take some time. So I imagine it wouldn't be the fastest or quietest thing.
But he can definitely get up that way.
You could only get it up there. Yeah.
Awesome. So let me just roll a quick check over here, please, sir. I need to roll a I should make a macro for like a fear check. So the all of a sudden, like while you're doing this, you see that the person that was kind of hiding there just turns, like, it just gets up, like while you're kind of like still climbing. It's clearly taking you a minute, and starts running away. So because you can see the person, you can actually see it's a human, kind of young-looking male. If you had to guess, adolescence. You know what I mean? So like teens to early 20s kind of range. So he's in his like adolescence phase, and he's running away from where you are, heading back towards a chunk of the ship.
When I get like up the like the crest of the ship, I'll turn the flashlight on again, and then just in like loudspeaker voice say, "Do not run. Running will only increase the danger and chance of demise."
Ooh. Rick and Frank, both roll me a perception check on that one. Because out of context, that is a threat.
See, for Icarus, it's like, no, it's spiky trees, there's monsters. Not, I'm gonna shoot you.
So you guys are trying to make your way away from here, and it's not like you're moving the exact relevance doesn't matter at the moment, but you're not moving directly away from where Icarus was, and you're not moving directly towards, somewhere in the middle, right? Somewhere like sideways, perpendicular-ish. And unfortunately, because you got this big like hulking guy like grunting and whatnot, kind of like breathing on you, you can barely hear anything beyond that, Rick. However, Sid, who's hanging back a little bit and just kind of like watching these two big meaty things move ahead, you actually hear off into the distance, you actually hear pretty much all of that. Like, don't run, more danger, sort of a thing. Maybe a little bit more off in the distance echoing from where the ships were.
What the hell was that?
What was what?
You didn't hear that?
I've got this. I'm gonna set him down real quick, and I'm gonna take my assault rifle from him.
Okay, so you put him down, and as you put him down, like almost immediately right next to him, there's like, just because of like what was already on his body and what can just continue, like a little pool starts to form right next to him. It's like a little one though. It's more like I said, more like a sieve and less like a leak. So when you set him down, it's like, oh, are you done dancing already? I thought we were going to prom tonight. You know, and you grab your assault rifle from him. Where do you guys go?
What exactly did you hear?
It sounded like someone, like, shouting in a booming voice that they're going to kill something.
Stay here. And I just get my assault rifle out and I start booking it in that direction.
So everybody ever play telephone? So you start running in that direction. Just because obviously we're new to the game, so you're new to the character concepts. Rick, should I assume that as you're jogging in that direction, you're kind of like breathing and getting yourself pumped? Awesome.
Yep.
So as you're like jogging in that direction, you know, making your way over there with your military style movements, all of a sudden you start to like, you do the specific type of breathing pattern that you have and get yourself pumped up. So all of a sudden tons of adrenaline starts pouring through your body and you just become super focused on the task at hand. You know what I mean? Every step is calculated. Every movement you make is calculated. You are zeroing in on where it is that you need to go. Frank, do you actually hang back with the bleeding guy or do you go ahead as well?
God, that's really, really debatable.
Yeah, I know. I could give you a moment. Ollie, you see that the person, like when you yell that, they like stop and they look like, you know, like, because they see you there, but they don't see any guns in your hand. And so they take like another 4 steps to get behind a building. And the way that you can see that they ran and like jumped behind the building, it was clearly like throw themselves against a wall and try to like get themselves comfortable. But as they did that, you saw something fall and flop onto the ground, and you heard them say "shit," and then like there's kind of like, you know, clearly on the ground, like crawling outwards, like reaching, trying to grab the pistol that had fallen off of their side onto the ground nearby. So they try to like reach out for it, but you could see like their whole like shoulder and arm reaching out for the pistol on the ground. Ollie, it's on you.
So I guess we'll just slowly start walking over there. He's not very fast. He's not very quiet. There's a like just, and then like when he's pretty close, there'll be a "Do not be alarmed."
So, Rick, make me a perception wisdom check, please.
I was really hoping to fail that for cinematic reasons, but you know.
Sure. So,
Spray
it's not like you got an amazing one. So you just, your lights turn back off, right, Ollie?
The main ones, Icarus is always got a sort of glowy face, I think, until he like
Yeah,
turns
but
it off.
you turned off the big one,
Yeah.
right? Okay,
Yeah.
so more or
I'm
less,
like a fancy PC.
more or less,
like an
you
alien.
hear the just the phrase "Don't be alarmed," and it kind of just changes your direction, so you're heading straight for where that is, right? Okay, so You see the person finally like noticing that you're coming closer. Does that like looks over and then like throws himself so like belly flopped onto the ground, grabs up the pistol and like elbows back behind the cover, and you can see they're fumbling trying to get like the pistol ready to be able to fire it.
Please do not shoot me.
They finish getting like the pistol prepared, and then they're like, don't just stop, just stop
Stop what?
moving.
I have not moved for 24 seconds. 25 seconds.
Turns like peeks around the corner, sees that you're in fact
Just
stopped a
like
distance away.
slumbered, yeah. I'm at like one hand on the side of the building, like leaned forward.
Yep.
Still pretty spooky, I imagine.
He looks around the corner, sees you there. It's like kind of like a big loud gulp as sees you there, but then leans out a little more, sees that you stop. It's like, yeah, and stay there.
If that is what you wish. You are not the one who crashed. You are local.
And you're not gonna take me.
I should take you back to Taimura City. It is past curfew.
What?
Your
What?
face is in my databanks. You are local.
Oh. You're not with the Batarians?
No.
Huh. I thought
It's not a Batarian would say.
I thought you were Batarian. Now, this whole time, Rick, you've been hearing the booming voice because it's loud, it echoes, so on and so forth. But all of a sudden, you come around the corner and you see like the kid with his back against the wall to this whatever it is that's behind him, this hunk of metal that's behind him, talking to something that's clearly around a corner from it. The piece of metal is between you, or whatever the structure is between you and that whatever that robot is, so you cannot see it, but you can hear it, and you just heard him say, I thought you were Batarian, you know, that like last line. The distance between you and him is only about 10 meters, so you can easily close that gap if you want to. It seems like he hasn't noticed you yet because he's kind of like leaning out and like talking to whatever it is that's over there. Like again, back to the wall, like leaning out, talking.
I imagine that Carmine would walk backwards a little bit and then see if he could like parkour up on like a bit of the building or part of the crash ship at this point to get a better overview of the situation and get the high ground.
You can, but because you're actually focusing on what that structure is really quickly, do me a favor and roll me a intelligence lore check. Did I still call it lore? Or did I change it to no? I can't remember.
You've actually changed it to lore.
Okay, so I left
Or
it.
if
At
it
lore.
always was lore, I don't know.
Yeah. I didn't change it back to no. So you notice that this actually is, granted, it's kind of like a mediocre model. It's a bit of an older model, but this is a life pod. So this, whatever this is that's in front of you, it's not from the ship that you were on. This life pod that's here, that's crashed down right over in this region near your ship.
Does it look recent?
Yeah.
As
Oh
in
yeah.
recently
It
arrived?
clearly looks very recent. But you go running over to it to try to like climb up on it, and you see there's a very recent life pod here.
Make a note of that.
Yep. It's still closed too. It's not open yet.
Make another note of that.
Yeah. So make me an exert dexterity check to kind of like.
And here's where everything falls apart.
Oh, I saw the first one, and I was like, oh no, like, sorry, Rick.
Because there's a cliff right there. If you like make the wrong jump, you're gone.
I mean, at this point, we have Duranium smacking against Duranium. That's going to make a bigger noise than the robot is.
So you go rushing over to the thing. Unfortunately, anything under a 6 is generally a failure. So you go rushing over to the thing, and try to like climb up it, but you can't get like a good hold or whatever. Unfortunately, it's just the way that it crashed into the ground kind of warped the metal. So you thought you were going to be able to get a good handhold here, but instead like bent under your weight, which is considerably more than you were born to have. And so like it bends underneath you, and you can't actually scramble up it. The other two can make me a perception check. That's you and the NPC to easily be able to find it. That you're there. Frank, did you go or did you stay?
Probably gonna go and drag the guy behind me.
Oh
shit.
That's cute. Roll me a exert strength check, Frank. But you know you'll live.
That's gonna do more harm than good.
You
Look,
big
I don't
old
care.
meaty guy.
Also, everything is spiky on this planet.
So
He's gonna get shredded.
that's his own fault.
Yeah,
Maybe he shouldn't have gotten injured.
you trying to pull the guy, but one, you're not really succeeding. You know, he's pretty heavy. And two, he's like, oh, what's the fuck matter with you? Ah, this shit hurts. Like, you want me to rip your skin open and get a piece of metal sticking out of you? Like, he's clearly is like upset. And if you like keep trying, he'll actually like, pull you back to him and give you like a dope slap upside your head, which would just leave like a blood splatter that's gonna dry pretty quickly into your hair.
Oh no, she's definitely going to keep trying. Definitely going to threaten to leave him if he hits Sid.
So, you guess you're leaving.
So Sid's just going to be like, look, you can get off your fat ass and try and walk instead of being lazy. Look, I've seen wounds so much worse than that. You're just being a big wallop.
You're doing a coercion, so we can do charisma if you'd like.
This sounds
Yes.
like a
Oh,
command. check
actually, I was
to
gonna
me.
say that sounds like it could be a command check. I was literally, you said
Both
oh or
are
whatever. I was
fine.
like, you want to do that one instead?
Yeah, I'm
Okay.
okay with either.
Command charisma.
Ooh.
Oh, lazy! That's what I'm lazy. I'll show you a little piece of shit. I'll fucking grab you and I'll show you how lazy I am. I'll show your mama how lazy I am too. And like it rolls over and like pushes himself up, stops for a second, like,
Oh, come on. I thought you were Alliance.
oh, you wait right there. I'm gonna get you. And then he pushes himself all the way up, and he's kind of like, oh, motherfucker, just took my rifle. I'm fucking give you a couple of holes to fight with. And he starts like hobbling after you. And it's very much like a
too much fun.
you know, as he's moving, you can clearly see Frank. He's got like cold shivers. You know what I mean? Like he's fighting against it. The temperature hasn't dropped that much yet. Well, at least the planet's temperature hasn't dropped that much yet. He's shivering pretty
Fine.
aggressively. With
He's
your
only in shock.
with your perception check there, Icolas, you clearly heard bang, scrap, 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 like something trying to climb up the other side of the ship.
I look at the commoner and I go, Timoran, I'm going to move in 5 seconds. And then like stand back up properly and go look to where the noise is.
When that bang happened, he was like again with the gun out, and like looking around the corner to talk to you. He's like, ah! Ah! And he like freaks out, and he's like completely scared the shit out of him because he had no idea that Carmine was coming around the other direction. And so when you say that, he maybe heard it, but he definitely like jumped around your side of the vessel and was almost like running to use
Using
you as cover.
me for cover, yeah.
but like still keeping a distance because it's like between a robot and a hard place, you know. So you go to make your way around. Rick, what are you doing?
I'm making my way around the corner at this point as well. Shotgun pointing forward.
You guys both rounds the corner at about the same time. I want you both to roll me an initiative check to see who acts first, though it doesn't necessarily mean combat. Rick, I know. Did you see that I gave you that macro?
No.
I'm pretty sure I have a macro up in your macro area. So if you go to like the hamburger tab, adrenal pump initiative, yeah. You still gotta make sure you highlight your character when you do it. See, I gave you that nice plus right there.
Yeah, that's That's more like it.
Yeah. All right, cool. So you have your adrenal pump initiative thing going on. So yeah. Oh, I guess all the fun. So yes, you come around the corner and you see a large ass robot in front of you, a model like you've never seen before, make like you've never seen before. Like this is a very different style because it was like. Well, just not from where you're from and your background and all of that stuff, but it's clearly a loader robot. Like, you know that this isn't necessarily designed for combat. You've just not seen this one before. You come around the corner and you see this big ass hulking thing in this like huge strong format, like very rigid format, coming around and facing you. You react instantly. It's taking a moment.
Freeze, Alliance.
Oh, hello.
Oh, hello.
Oh,
What in the bloody hell are you?
you are the one that crashed.
I am
I
the
am
one asking
Icarus.
the questions here.
Designation Icarus.
Who do you belong to?
Icarus belongs to Icarus.
Goddamn robots.
Excuse me, you will have to speak louder. I did not hear that. I was just like leaning in.
Can I like do a detailed look of him up and down to like try and figure out like design elements common to one race or
I'll-
another?
I'll straight up tell you. It's up to Scott whether you know this, but I'll say it for the chat because I haven't described Icarus yet.
Yeah, like I remember
Uh,
you telling it, but
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know.
Icarus is like Citadel standard design. Like it's not really one race, it's like the whole Citadel mush race. He actually has a like tourist sticker of the Citadel stuck on him and a couple of other bits and bobs, so he's clearly been customized a bit. Yeah, so he looks, you know, alien. He's also very muddy. Excuse me?
So he's like, just like scared of like the shit that's going on, what banged against the wall. He's like, Batarian! And he comes around and he starts shooting with his gun, like, boom, 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 over at you, Carmine. But like the shots come at you and they're like, ting off of your shoulder. The first one, because it completely catches you off guard, tings off of your shoulder, so it doesn't even hurt you at all because you happen to have like a hunk of titanium right there. And the next one, you just like step to the side and you have your shields or whatever, so it's like moves past you and it doesn't affect you or anything. And you see this young boy over there. He's probably looks maybe like 17-ish. He's got a gun, clearly scared shitless, and he just yelled the word Batarian and shot at you a couple times.
I know he's been shooting at me, so it's just, kid, put that gun down now.
We were having a conversation. It is considered rude to unload firearms during conversations.
Aaron, you all of a sudden some loud noise kind of like wakes you up. You're like, oh, your fucking head is exploding with pain because you just crash landed and whatnot, and you've got Batarian on you because it went splat with you on the way down. So you kind of like pushing the Batarian off of you. You hear like another pop, like a loud noise reverberating through this thing. It sounds distant, but at the same time it hurts your ears. Like it's like the shot is like right next to you. And you kind of like coming to or whatever. You hear some sort of like deep sounding voice like reverberating on the oh shit, that's right, you're still in the life pod here, escape pod here. Trying to like take in where you are and what had happened. You couldn't quite make out what it was saying as you like your senses start coming back to you. I imagine you like push yourself to your feet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I push myself to my feet and I immediately try to take in my surroundings.
Yep. Roll me
Little pod.
Yeah. Roll
damage
me
with
a perception wisdom check, please.
I broke my character sheet.
Did you go like this? Too thin?
Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't snap well.
Alright, you said perception check?
Perception, intelligence, please. Wisdom, please, and thank you. First roll of the game, not bad. Put a 1 right on my face, but thanks. So anyways, you you taking your surroundings, you remember everything. You remember all that had happened. You remember the fight. You remember killing this fucker on the way down. It was a little bit of a fight. You know, put up a little bit of a fight after you stole your spot, but you were able to get in and get here. You remember the crash landing. It's just kind of, it comes back to you, but it's like one of those things where the memories are just like hurt. It's like it hurts to remember. It's like, oh God, that's right. Ugh. Okay, breathe. So then you hear conversation continuing outside of the pod. The pod that you're in doesn't have any windows, so you can't like see outside of it. It does have cameras on the outside, so you know the pod has its own power source unless it got hurt during the crash landing, which it shouldn't have. And you could hear air coming through the vents, like you can just kind of like pick up the slight wind. So you think the thing still has power. You might be able to turn on a display and see what the fuck's going on out there. But before we have you do that, you said something, Rick, and then all you responded. Rick, it's your turn. Oh, no, he said put down the gun. That's right. That's how you would end it.
Yeah, I told the kid to back down.
And he's like, okay. And he, like, puts the gun, like lowers the gun or whatever.
Icarus, right? This pod here, not one of us. You come with me, we need to check it.
I can open this.
Do it.
Like, walk
And I
around
just
to
ready my shotgun.
Aaron, roll me a perception wisdom check again, please.
Mm-hmm.
I believe you have the total of 6 to your pool of luck, Frank.
Oh.
You are only able to hear that deep reverberating sound saying, I can open this. And then you hear like coming its way around to like the front door. Did you want to turn on the display to see what the fuck's going on outside?
Yes.
Okay. Roll me a what is that? Electronics? Yeah, an electronics or a decryption check. Doesn't really matter which one. Intelligence. It's pretty simplistic roll because you don't have like a heavy skill in either of those, do you?
No.
Yeah. Unfortunately, 6 is what I was looking for. They make their way around to the door, and Icarus is about to start opening it. You have 2 options: 1, prepare an action to attack when the door opens, or 2, try to look outside of it again. Well, you can do anything else, but that's kind of like the time frame that you have.
Did that Batarian have a gun on him?
He did, right? I think he only had a pistol on him because of just like everything that had played out. Oh no, he didn't have a gun, right? Because like he more or less just
that's right.
Yeah, he like backed the fuck off, and then he was like, I'm taking your spot when you got electrocuted. Yeah.
Okay. I will prepare an action to attack when the door opens.
Sure, because don't you have a gun? Don't you have your own gun?
No, I use those.
All of them.
Destroyed
that's right.
them. Yeah.
That's right. You have no gun.
Claws.
So you prepare an action to pounce. Beautiful.
Yep.
Ollie, you're the one that wants to open the door. Roll me a exert strength. Do you assist Rick, or do you prepare an action to attack?
I'm not preparing to attack, but I'm definitely aiming and like ready to go whenever.
Okay.
So I'll get like the hands under the hinge and just if I can.
So I imagine like ducked like around like the side, like, and I'm preparing to like jump out.
Yeah, kind of like jump out. Exactly. Yeah, it's not like the area in there is very large, but more or less one of those things where when they open it in that first like half second they won't see you, but a half second after that you'll be on them. You know what I mean? So I gotcha. So you have no question in your mind. You have the strength to rip this thing open. The issue is you can't quite get your super beefy like fingers inside the hole to actually do like the hoisting. You can't like quite get them inside there. So you're gonna have to roll for me again. So it's like literally the same exact. You're still trying to. There's no change whatsoever to your
Whirring.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you say anything?
Carmine's very impatiently thumping his foot.
He goes from like waiting to like. I love like the finger gestures when you're like holding something like a gun, something that you can easily hold with just like thumbs. It's like I'm clearly giving you a lot of gesture right now. And then like you actually not like he's distracting you, you're a fucking robot. As you try to like lift the thing up further, it's once again you just really can't get into that spot. This thing is designed to be fucking airtight. So the idea that like you could just get in and rip the thing open is making it difficult. And you hear like scraping of metal and like
How big
gears
is there a
against gears.
gap?
No,
Has he
there's no
managed to open it at all?
no, there's no gap at the moment, but there is technically like little release things here and there that are supposed to make it so like somebody's not trapped in there for life, right? So you don't have to necessarily bust out a metal cutting saw. And he's more or less trying to take advantage of these safety features to open it. He's not designed for finite work. He's designed for carrying crates. He's like I carry 3 dead Krogans at a time. Like this is not delicate work. So go ahead.
So I wait.
Okay.
I step back slightly and then go, this is not an issue that can be solved with brawn, but with brain. And then I try to hack it.
Carmine just kind of back there, just like flipping his shit. It's like, why didn't you just do that then? But he doesn't say anything.
Oh, you should say stuff. You should bring it up.
I imagine like just because in like the carry mode, because your arms are more or less like stuck like this, as like somebody just needs like an endearing hug, and you're just like
Crunch.
Not optimal. So that's a way better check there, Ollie. So with your 11, you just more or less step back. You immediately allow like your VI interface to like jump into the computer.
Bluetooth. Yeah.
You're able to easily rip apart the systems on the inside, more or less communicate with it and be like, yep, open. And so, Aaron, all of a sudden, the door starts opening. Again, these aren't Star Wars doors. It's like, and they're instantly open. They open it at a decent speed, though. So as that door opens up and you guys are able to see what's on the other side, why don't we take a break? And we'll see everybody in a few minutes as everybody but Rick gets to join together and meet. See y'all in a few minutes.
Wait, everybody but Rick?
Frank.
I've been central here the entire time.
Whatever your name is over there. All right.
Who even needs names? It's 2018.
All right, see you in a couple of minutes. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Mass Effect 2174.
Or is it 73? We don't know.
No. 73 is the year that Shepard joined the military. This is the year after that. So I just want to gripe for a second. I have these wonderful bagels from my favorite bagel place. This is also where I get my coffee from. They also make homemade cream cheese there. And so I like to buy the homemade cream cheese there, preferably the chive one, made with fresh chives, so I can put it onto my bagels. And I was like, oh, I'll get a bagel, I'll have some cream cheese. And then I realized there's no cream cheese. I call my wife. She brought it to work with her. You brought the fucking cream cheese to work. She's like, listen, I want a cream cheese. You put it in your bagel, then bring it to work. She's like, stop complaining. The fridge is full of food. I look in the fridge. It's full of food for Easter. I literally, 99%. It seems like if I opened a package of bacon or a carton of eggs, I would have my hand broken. So I'm like, bagel. Yum.
I eat
That's
just
too bad.
straight
I could have
bagels.
picked them up this morning too. Like if you guys.
I know, but she brought the cream cheese with her this morning. I'm like, come on. All right, that was my fun story. We good?
Yeah, the rest of us were just waiting here. But...
Yeah, we would wait for you to be done with your story.
You're welcome. You're welcome for
But it was,
sharing.
Rant.
it was interesting in the end.
In the end.
It was enough. Yeah.
It makes you
I
wonder,
have my
wait,
faith.
she's going to break his hands? Is this like with a tool, like a hammer or a vice? Or is she really that strong?
I was imagining like just a judo chop. Like,
Yeah.
just
like
one-
Austin Powers style?
And then it like Mortal Kombat's and like you just see the bones just inside.
Yeah, finish him. So, mind you, she's 4'11". I'm like a full foot taller than her, so that just makes it more entertaining. All right, so the door opens up. Roll me a perception check, Icarus and Ricky Gervais.
That came out of nowhere. That's got nothing to do
You should
with
feel
James
insulted by that.
Carmine.
Whoa, Ricky Gervais is hilarious. Aside from his new movie he has coming out or whatever, or the one that he just had come, he's hilarious. I just don't like the Office style comedy.
Yeah, that's the main issue. Yeah.
Yeah. All right, let's see. So the door opens up. Aaron, roll me a sneak check. Sneak dexterity. You do have a -2 because there's very little to hide behind.
You're just like hiding behind the armrest.
So it's one of those things where the door opens up, and at first you guys see nothing, just because she is in fact hidden. And then like right before she jumps, like it's probably the shifting of weight getting ready to pounce forward, you see a form that's there. Icarus, I will give you the ability to see that it is a Torian. However, Rick, you're not going to get that ability. Aaron, can you roll me a perception check as well?
Yep.
You see a worker droid in front of you, and you see a human behind that. Not just any human, though. You immediately register, you know who he is. Because, you know, you were hired to do the same job. Just, he was on that side, you were on the inside.
Would I have
Oh,
known
okay.
about that, or...
You knew that there was somebody inside the ship causing havoc and mayhem, but you didn't know who it was, anything about them. I mean, honestly, just because, you know, your character's a shitty person, you just assumed it was a man and a human.
I'm not a shitty person.
You know, you're a misogynistic
You would have
racist,
assumed human.
you know.
I would have assumed human, yeah, that's about it. Like, Carmine doesn't discriminate about gender.
Sure.
So I go to pounce, and then I stop, and just take a very formal stance.
Icarus recoils back like someone who's seen a mouse. See it like with just a lurch. No, it's not. It's actually very fluid. Like way too fluid for the body. And then like just sort of gets back into stance.
Is this like the elephant mouse thing?
Yeah, that's what I was imagining.
Oh, that's funny. And what do you do? You notice the form inside there. You notice Icarus step back. You notice the form was clearly ready to pounce, but then isn't. But you can't see who it is or what it is. Go.
I have my gun pointed straight in that direction. Not firing, because they didn't go through with their pounce, but, you know.
You are, of course, extremely focused. Keep that in mind when role-playing, okay? You know the effects, obviously. Alright, so,
Yeah.
Interact. He didn't shoot, but
Alright.
it was one of those things where he was clearly ready to shoot, but now his finger is not off the trigger, but he also didn't pull it. So.
Alright. So like I said, very formal stance. Like her hands are like kind of like tucked like behind her back, like just like very proper. And she goes, "You must be my contact."
You see him, like, awkwardly look around for a second, like, judging. Like, there's a dead Batarian in there, which... After a moment or so, he lowers his gun slightly, so... He's not gonna shoot you right in the chest, but more like your toe at this point.
Huh.
He's just like... Identify yourself.
My name is Constantina. I was here to destroy the ship and potentially help with the rescue of the human slaves.
You see him relax at this point slightly. After a little while, he gets really exhausted.
I'm familiar with your face. Ergo, you must be my contact. You're certainly not Batarian or a human slave.
Name's Carmine.
I nodded that.
This here is Icarus
Designation Icarus.
Icarus. He's a robot
Icarus?
that apparently seems to be a local around here.
I
I
could
see.
take you to Timora City. I know routes that are slightly more hospitable for organic creatures. If you were to attempt to travel on your own, you would surely be destroyed.
Could you share with me the mapping, the mapping like data for my Omni tool?
You have a Omni tool?
Would you, obviously, continue the RP in a second. Would you or wouldn't you share that data? Is that something that you would think be okay to share with an off-worlder? Or would there be protocols against that? Just keep that in mind. That's your decision, not mine. Go ahead.
Why are you talking to me?
Yeah.
I'm keeping this shit in mind.
Hey, listen, it's been a month since we did our prequel session, so I just want to make sure that we're all good. Go ahead.
I don't need a prequel session. I'm Ollie. There's a pause, and then he wouldn't even move. It would just like ping onto your Omni tool.
Much appreciated. And I take a quick glance at it and like.
It wouldn't have the details of like where his home is. It would just be like the routes to and through the city.
Oh yeah, no, that wouldn't surprise me.
Mm.
That's totally fine. So it's Timora City, you call it?
You see, the citizens do not have a name for the city. It is the only city on the planet's surface.
Right. How many people are around there?
It's a few thousand, right, Scott?
Yeah, it's a little under 1,000 for the entire planet.
Mm. Icarus would give the exact number, more or less.
Not including any casualties that may have happened in like the last day or so.
Casualties, births. Who knows, right?
I imagine he gives you a number, comes to realization, and then subtracts 2 from that number.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Right. All humans, I assume?
Humans on this planet are
yeah.
terrified of the Batarian threat, as you have seen.
Well, can't say I blame them. Right, I suppose that it might be best if we collect ourselves, including the scared young man back there, and then we start heading to that city of yours.
That would be the best for your survival.
Is there anything else that's critical for me to know right now? I know that you have beasties walking around. I know that there's Batarians everywhere, apparently. People are terrified of them.
That will be all. For now. And then like
Good.
I'll go out of siege mode You sort of shrink a bit. Look more cuddly.
Let's not waste any time then.
Do you have more crew?
One injured person, yes. He looks you up and down for a second. How stable is your carrying platform?
Stable enough to carry chemical reacting isotopes.
It might not be a bad idea if you were to carry him. He is badly injured and too much movement could upset the bandaging.
I will have to see the specimen.
Well, let's get to it then. And he just starts walking.
Icarus gives the teenager a long look, like waiting for him to move.
Yeah, while Carmine is walking away, he just looks at him and is like, if you want to be left alone out here with the beasts, feel free to stay, but you're welcome to tag along if you don't start shooting at me again.
That's the teenager, Scott. we're
Yeah.
talking to. The 17-year-old guy that you're playing.
I gotcha. So he's like, I actually came here with, someone else. I don't know where Sid is. And then probably right around now is when Sid would be rolling her eyes quite a bit ahead of the other one, who's kind of like slumping along, coming into view. So it's like, I don't know where Sid is. And then like see Sid and be like, oh, and just like gesture over to Sid like off in the distance. Yeah, probably like a good 25 meters away.
Right, that solves a couple more problems.
And that kind of like links that together for you, Carmine, so you know like who Sid is. Fun thing though, everybody roll me a perception, wisdom. Hold on, Frank. I'm gonna give you a normal roll. The other three are gonna take a -2.
Ouch.
Yeah, -2 sucks.
I'm back to not seeing shit again.
That's okay.
I'm a robot.
I got the 9.
Oh, Aaron, you rolled super fast. I was waiting for Aaron, but she was actually at the top there. Wow. Okay,
Yeah.
cool. My apologies. So, Sid, you notice there was a quick, like, movement inside the bushes. It's a very, very unique sound that you're extremely familiar with. The way that it sounds, because usually these eight-legged creatures move, like, kind of like slunk along low to the ground, but when they're ready to pounce, they do like these 2 to 4 big like lunges to get ready to pounce on their target, and you hear one of these reptilian creatures just like running and lunging, and you hear it and you turn and you see clearly it's aimed at your bleeding friend. Well,
Oh, that's fine.
the bleeding guy behind you. So you notice that immediately. Do you say anything? Do you call? I'm going to give you 2 options here. One, you can take an action, react before everybody rolls initiative. Or 2, you can just give everybody like a warning, like a verbal warning or an action. Those are your options.
Well, even if I tried to shoot it, I'd miss. So
It's up to you, buddy.
I think the obvious answer here is, yeah, Sid is just going to wheel around towards the noise and shout, "Thumper!" As
I
if
immediately
everyone knows
activate my
what that
pump.
is.
So well, the thing they're called what is it? Pustini Drakon. So Pustini Drakon is like what they're actually called, but the nicknames for them is Pusty Drak. So that's like their nicknames. So
That's a shitty
Next
nickname.
time you make up a monster, give it a better nickname.
Like a thumper.
I'm okay with the science name, but don't nickname your alien monster Pusty Drank. That sounds like a modern day rapper that I would not listen to.
I would have said it sounds more like a porn star, but okay.
it's Russian. The issue is I don't write the Russian language. I'm phonetically using Russian because if I put in Russian characters, we'd all be like, what does that say?
Now, could you spell it out for us?
But when Ollie said it, I realized I honestly, this was weeks ago, right? I had mentioned while I was on vacation, like a month ago, that I was making 3 monsters. 2 of them released a Patreon already. The lizard one hasn't yet. It's this one right here. I'm releasing it soon. And I'm like, look at me, I've got this nice name. And then Ollie says it out loud, and I'm like, ooh. I'm gonna have to rename this.
Yeah.
So,
Oh, good.
seeing as
like a
These
Star
rural
Wars
people would
thing.
not be like, oh, that's a push feed rag. No, that's a fucker. That's a big
it's
one.
a fucking thumper.
I almost feel like
Thumps on the
it's,
ground when it
I
dies.
almost feel like it's
Thumper
a
definitely makes.
really bad insult for, never mind. So, moving on. So, a thumper. We'll go with that one. I like thumper. I'm gonna change it.
You know, it's probably one of the many nicknames for it.
Yeah.
Pristine
Welcome.
Oh god, it's like embarrassed. Oh my! I usually do this shit at like 2 or 3 in the morning. Though that's not an excuse. You'd think with my dirty mind I would have gotten it. All right, sorry. I need to turn the fan on. I'm not even joking. Oh, this is bad. Okay, I'm like fanning myself. Like, all right. So,
Oh hi.
I think we broke him a little bit more
I
than
think
usual.
Scott's got the vapors right now.
We're a man down.
I'll DM now.
okay.
Monster
I
decides,
am
sees a
DM now.
bunch of angry people and slips off into the darkness. You all get 12 action points.
All right. Frank, what do you do? I need water.
Oh, Sid's just turning around towards the noise. Probably reaching for the weapon, but since I can only do the one action, it's just going to shout, "Thumper!"
And I immediately activate my pump.
So I mean, you instantly know what that is, Ollie. Rick, you are not an idiot. You saw the way that this thing was it's like pounced before. Remember? Because I believe you shot it literally. It was midair jumping at you or whatever. So you get 2 and 2 together pretty quickly. Aaron, you have no idea what the fuck he's talking about, or you haven't even met the person, but Sid, right? You have no idea what the fuck Sid is talking about. This, voice off in the ether. However,
Thumper some like weird human name?
well,
I
you
don't-
can clearly tell by the pitchy tone of like fear.
It's danger.
Yeah, it's danger. So all of you guys can react. Roll me your initiative check. Rick, you had just described yourself as being slightly exhausted, so you do not get your enhanced initiative.
Oh.
Sorry, buddy.
Oh. Where are the tokens that we are? Are we just not doing it?
You are using
It's fine.
you are using your old token because we don't
Yeah,
have
but
the.
they're not there
Yeah, it is on the ship.
Yeah.
on the ship.
Scroll down.
I'm not crazy.
Middle
am
of the ship.
I? Yeah, there we
Oh,
go.
I was looking at like all like the corners of the map
Yeah.
where we usually keep them.
Yeah, well,
Scott.
I actually am doing it slightly differently, so you guys always have something to look at, so you have like a blank screen in your face.
Mhm.
And also so you can't ping people's faces. Oops, I just screwed this up over here. There you go.
Nice to have something that will eventually be important to look at.
Well, it
Like
was
I have a
annoying.
map on my other
When I'd
game.
be like, what's on Erin's chin? Do I say something to her? And then I'd look really close and be like, it says Shepard.
Shepard.
Frank! Oh.
You give Frank a way to fuck with things, he's gonna do it.
Yeah.
Eventually.
I
When he
mean,
gets
it was
bored.
there for a while, so I'm
Or,
proud by that.
or last Eberron session where everybody realized, wait, we can ping? We can ping on stream? This is great. Let's all ping each other. All right, so, my apologies. You all roll your initiative checks. Let me actually look at them.
No, there is a
Sid,
Shepard screen
Carmine. Oh, you still rolled really well, Rick.
Yeah.
Oh, fucking Lucinda or
Lucina.
Lucinia.
I think.
Lucinia. Yeah, I was thinking
Lucinia.
Lucinda. I was thinking of my
Lucinia
mom.
Constantina.
I was thinking of my mom. That's why. You're welcome, Aaron. I know you
Thanks.
love hearing that. You remind me of my mom.
Hmm.
1 second, because I'm a big dummy face.
Just gonna leave that alone. Actually,
Obviously, I'm just kidding.
I had like a opportunity to censor myself and I took it.
Yeah. Well, nobody wants to be
Sometimes
told
you just
that,
need a
like,
way out, you know.
nobody wants to hear, like, oh, so I remind you of your my fiance's mother. Like, that sounds wonderful. Nobody wants to hear that. Shut up, Scott. All right. So we're gonna use the name Thumper because that's way better. I gotta breathe here. All right. So I rolled fucking shit. So that is awful. I forgot to add my. Nope. That's my roll. It's fucking shit. So perfect. Awesome. You guys all get to act first, and that's Lucina first. Now again, Sid is about 25 meters behind you, so that's a bit of a hike. Is your speed 10 meters, the regular speed, or do you have an enhancer for something?
I don't have it enhanced.
Okay, so 10 meters is a single move, so you can move 20 meters this turn if you just want to like break it towards that voice.
Yeah, we'll do.
Okay, so you see like a bat out of hell. You see that this like obviously you hear that voice. You see everybody like turn around, react. They also kind of like jump into motion. But as people are like rushing forward or lining up their shots, whatever they're doing, you see the Turian just book it like again like a bat out of hell. Just blows past all of you people, just running as fast as she possibly can to get over to that spot. I mean, she's got like the focus on laser vision. After you is immediately going to go to what's your turn? Just put this in descending order. That's going to be. Oh, why is your token not on here?
I clicked it.
No, it's not. It's not your fault. I'll take care of it. After that's going to be Rick. Go ahead.
Right, I'm gonna book it 10 meters towards the voice, and then how far away is the thumper?
From that, a handful of meters, not very far at all.
I need to know specifically.
You're using that close range of a power. So,
I'm thinking about it.
let me fix this shit right here. There we go. Okay, just fixing the stream. So to answer your question, sorry. So it is 4 meters away, about to do its jump, its launch at him. So
Okay, so I'm 4 meters away?
4 meters away. So from you, 27 meters away.
Cool. I whip out the shotgun and I shoot at it.
So you run up 10 and you bust out the shotgun from 17 meters away.
Yep.
Okay, what's the shotgun's range?
10 to 30, so that's a -2 for long
Perfect.
range.
Perfect, thank you. Awesome. So you make your shotgun roll, and oh my God, Rick, you are a monster in this campaign. Jesus. All right, roll your damage. All right.
Ugh.
Oh, I see you stole Erin's thing there, the shock damage bit. It was brilliant on her behalf.
Yeah, like, might as well.
Yeah. All right, so let's see. That is an amazing attack roll. So you definitely hit it. You did a fuck ton of damage. So DR is only 2. So it takes 13 points of damage. You ruins this thing's day. So you take one shot of the thing, and as it's running, it like notices you coming. Like I said, these things seem to have learned more than you would expect such a primal creature. And as it's like running, it literally just gets ready to jump. It jumps mid-pounce. It turns its head in such a way that like almost all of its head and neck take the brunt of your shot, or plan to take the brunt of your shot. But like your shot gets past it, you hit it in the flank, the side. You saw it, and you're like, "Fuck you! I learned that trick already." Angle slightly more to the side and spray that its whole side and back. After you is going to be Sid's turn. Yeah, because Sid's faster than Ikelis, isn't she? He, whatever.
Same roll.
It was a tie, yeah.
Goes in tight.
Based off dexterity, right?
I got 8 decks at the moment.
Yeah, so
I got
Sid's faster.
13.
Sid, you go.
Yeah, Sid's gonna run towards the, Boomhauer, whatever his name is. And
That could be anything.
What? No, Boomhauer, the guy.
Oh, is your guy called Boomhauer?
No, that's how he's speaking for the. Never mind. The injured.
Oh,
guy.
you're talking
Yes, Boomhauer.
Ah, right, now I get it.
My name is a little.
That's how
fluid.
Boomhauer
I knew
speaks.
Yeah, sure. I definitely get whatever your weird reference is.
I
It's,
vote we
keep
just
it
nickname him Redneck.
I mean, that too. That's
Just call him
Boomhauer.
Red.
His neck is red now. Blood.
Ow. Too soon.
Yeah, so Sid is just gonna run over to him and draw her gun and shoot towards the thing if she can.
Okay, go ahead.
Just essentially defensive posturing.
It'd be awesome if Sid got a kill. One shot.
Yeah.
A kill steal, more like.
Yeah. Except I don't remember the damage on this pistol because I don't think we ever discussed it.
Is it a light pistol?
It is.
It's a garbage pistol.
It's a
Yeah.
primitive pistol.
D6.
All right.
Oh yeah, it's a 1911.
Or is it a D4? Might even be a D4 plus dex. Yeah, it's D4 plus dex.
Okay.
Because a light pistol is a D10, so it's like garbage comparatively. It's all right. So you light up the shot, and it tings off of the carapace part of its head. It does not do any damage whatsoever. You still have a move if you want to try to like rearrange yourself, or you just kind of stay where you are.
She already moved.
She already moved towards the injured guy.
Oh, that's right. You went to be a little defensive.
Roomhauer.
My apologies. Icarus. Thank you, Ollie. Icarus.
I will get my sniper rifle off my back and click it together. And back up while I'm doing that. And while backing up, one hand just goes to the teenager and just sort of backs him up with me. But I don't. Yeah.
Now, technically, it's
But,
considered a readied weapon. It's the only readied weapon that you have. So you.
Oh.
Yeah, it's not considered stowed. So you can technically take a shot at this round too. Because you can.
Awesome.
You can,
I didn't know that's how it worked.
Yeah, you can do one item.
No, it makes sense because it is the only thing I have on my body.
Just like Lena, she only had one readied item.
Yeah.
So you try to line up the shot. It's a large target, but it's a good distance. It's a large target a distance away, but it's one of those like distances where it's like, do you use a scope? Do you not use a scope? You line up the shot.
I'd never use a scope. You wouldn't have a
Icarus
scope
has
on it.
Fair, because you're
particles.
you're a robot, right? Your eyes are a scope. So you line the thing. It's almost like a hip shot, right? You don't even like.
Yeah,
So,
that's what I was actually imagining.
That's funny. That's good.
Wouldn't matter, would it?
So you like line up the shot and you go to take it, and it actually should have been a hit. Like it actually should have connected. Unfortunately, because there's a little bit of cover between you and it, the bullet rips through the first few bushes that it gets there, but you miscalculated how much the mass it could plow through before it got to the target. So by the time it hit the target, it should have easily blown through the carabist helmet head that we talked about, but it actually pings off. Too
And
much
how
mass
long
is lost.
does it take for weapons to cool down? Because it actually matters for snipers.
Yeah, it is. You have more or less have to skip one turn and then go the next turn.
That's what I thought so.
Yep, for that gun. All right. After that is going to be the Thumper's turn. So it's actually going to be able to make its attack roll, and it's making its charge attack, which is a +6. Oof. Against your friend there. Where are you? That's. Now we just gotta make sure that we get the total of a +6. It has a solid attack roll. Here we go. Ooh, that actually does not hit the guy. His AC is only a 14. His AC is only a 14, but it's not negatively impacted by his dexterity. The way we're going to describe it, because obviously he has no movement to like really assist him. He wasn't really dexterous to begin with. He has like no movement to assist him. So the way it works is as the thing lunges at him, Sid, who's standing right by him, gives the guy like sees the thing, is like, oh shit, and tries to give the guy a quick push, but he's like bigger and heavier than Sid expected. So Sid does like one more like quick shove to like push the guy slightly more out of the way. The shove like also equally pushes Sid backwards just because like the amount of force it took to push the guy. And so the thing does continue flying through the air and claws at him. It hits him and it like rakes open the armor and hurts the armor and whatnot, but not enough to actually physically harm him. Sid just barely saving him. After that is going to, because it can only make, if it charges, that's the only attack it has in the turn, right? Yes, but now it's like right up against the two of you. Next round is going to be Iran.
I would like to make the interrupt attack if possible.
Sure, that's with a what? -4, and then you lose your turn. You lose your attack this turn.
Yep, pretty much. I'm just gonna shoot it again with the shotgun.
Is everybody familiar with this? We had mentioned it last session of last season. Okay, so there's this really cool feature that exists in Stars Without Number, and so we put it into the game. It's like an interrupt attack. The way it works is, Aaron, more or less think like immediate actions in 3.5, okay?
Yeah, I get it.
So if you can use your action ahead of your turn, if you have not used your action, but you can use your action ahead of your turn in the initiative order to make an attack with a -4, but then you lose your action on your turn. You can also do the same thing after your turn if you never used your action. But, obviously that was your action, right? So,
Yeah.
Go ahead, Rick.
I'm gonna shoot him with a -6. It's probably not gonna hit, but
That's with the -6 fully factored in.
Yeah, like check the math.
You do have a party pool of luck.
Is that a miss?
Am I supposed to tell you miss or not first? I think I say you have
I can
party
use
pool
my
of luck.
soldier ability, so you might as well tell me.
Good point. It is a miss for a bullet.
It is not a miss.
Okay, so you hit. It's actually, well, I'll release that later. So, you hit with your bullet attack. Do your damage, sir? It's a fuck ton of damage. It's a lot of damage. And so, describe the kill.
I shoot it like straight in one of the legs, actually, and it just takes the leg clean off, so that it just kind of flops and just spasms a bit before dying. And it can't hurt my friend.
Nice. All right. You did hurt your friend, though. As all I just mentioned. You totally stole from Aaron.
Obnoxious rules. Definitely.
What's she gonna do? Run up and knife it?
Yeah.
Literally, yes.
Literally, yes.
It's got an armored face. That's not that useful against Claw Woman.
Yeah.
Tell that to the shotgun.
All right, so you blow the thing's leg
It's
off,
got
and it just
Bluetooth,
flops
I
on the
fucking
ground, and it's like writhing in pain a little bit as it's bleeding out. And so the guy that was just saved, he's like, oh, look at that man bleeding like a little bitch. Who bleeds that much? and yeah, you guys are now all together.
Carmine walks over and kicks it for good measure.
You guys stole my kill of the NPC.
Screw you.
Now you have to keep playing.
I have to keep playing him.
Yep.
All right.
We're gonna treasure him forever.
So now the plan. So you guys, any like quick RP at this point? There's a more or less just like a nod. We all understand what just happened. We all know where we're going, and you just start heading out.
Carmine would just say a quick, eyes open, and keep his shotgun on the ready this time instead of stowing it again.
I imagine that God, I'm just like with Entourage. It took me forever. Is it Lucinia?
Constantinia.
Constantinia.
She goes by her last name.
Oh, okay. So
Just go with that.
let me just look at it. It's my apologies. It's gonna take me a little bit.
Constantine.
Constantinia.
Yeah.
So Constantinia is going to, I imagine, kind of like was charging at this thing, and then kind of like slows down and comes to a stop, and just like, here's what Rick says, and then kind of just walks off. You guys know what direction you guys are going. You pinged. Was it only Rick's?
Only Rick's.
So Rick and you.
I
have
wouldn't
the
assume
Omni
anyone
tools
else had an Omni tool because no one on this planet has Omni tools.
Fair. So you and Rick have the maps. Since you're not really doing any RP, you can just roll for me a survival wisdom or survival intelligence. Which one? And make your way there.
I'm going with survival intelligence.
I'm gonna overclock my cognition twice to give myself +2. That's all my processing, but I don't want to get lost in the middle of the night in a forest where all the trees have knives attached to them.
Mm-hmm. So that's with your +2 involved?
Yeah, yeah.
So who used intelligence, who used wisdom?
I used
intelligence.
wisdom. I didn't hear you said we could use intelligence.
Yeah, you could use either one. Would you have used
And
intelligence?
well, which I would have a 1 more on that.
Perfect. So you have a 9 and a 7. So you guys have the maps going, and it's one of those things where, for the most part, Icarus is like, this is the most direct route, or this is the safest route.
Icarus is also worrying because he's overclocked right now. He's very warm.
So oh, that's right. You had to bring an extra battery with you too, to make sure that you could actually survive the trip both ways, didn't you?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I kept all that stuff on me, I think.
Yeah, you did. So so you guys start making your way, going as fast as you can. And so the way it works out is more or less Icarus is planning the best routes. And when you guys get to a path where it's the best route, every once in a great while, Carmine will kind of chime in and be like, "Yeah, that's not going to work for us." And Icarus is like, "I don't know what you're talking about. This is the safest route. It's the best route." "Oh yeah, that's right. The injured guy." Like Icarus can totally plan for for the fact that you're organics is totally used to that. That's not an issue. But with this guy fucking bleeding out and unable to move very well, it's not good. So you guys travel a decent amount of time throughout the evening into the nights, through the night somewhat, to try to get some sort of distance to where it is that you think it might be a safe spot to rest. I'm going to have you do 2 watches. Who wants to take these watches to keep an eye on things?
Yeah,
I would
will.
probably take first watch with the adrenal pump turned on the entire time, if that's possible.
The adrenal pump can last as long as you want, but even though it has the mechanical effect that we know of for the game, more or less the way that you role play it being, like, let's say overclocked on for a long period of time, as you imagine, it just makes you even more exhausted for even longer afterwards, for the sake of, like, just RP and tired. So if you have it on for hours straight, just like super focused and like doing lines and lines and lines of coke, more or less you have a harder crash at the end. So you can do that with the first watch. Anybody join him?
I would keep both watches. Thanks.
Yep. Anybody else?
I would probably do the second then.
Okay. And that allows Sid's friend, and the bleeding guy to rest most of the time. So about that bleeding guy.
He's dead. It's fine.
Well, first let's go to the watches. Rick, roll me your perception check, and Ollie, roll me your perception check.
I'm still overclocked. Oh no, I used that on int instead. Rip. Unless I can do perception intelligence.
Nope, wisdom. Sorry, sir.
Damn it.
Rip.
No. So focused on intelligence, you're not there.
I'm overclocked. I'm like.
I would probably
very
ask
tired.
you, like, at some points, like, could you maybe not? You're like, it's not helping with the predators.
So
Predators are not interested in me.
it's true.
No,
Be
but
the one that is worried.
That's true.
I do not worry.
Once you
I
turn
am a
like 16
machine.
or 17, the predators stop being as interested in you. So, the watch goes well. Nothing seems to attack you. You do notice, Carmine, there's a lot of things moving out there. As a matter of fact, for a planet that seems so fucking dead, there's a lot more movement than you would expect, right? You just don't know if it's movements nearby or if it's really big movement a distance away. And it's kind of hard to kind of keep track of like that because you're so new to the planet. We're going to do watch number 2.
Mm-hmm. Perception.
So it's the Turian doing watch number 2, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think Sid might wake up for that because she's very curious in a non-Batarian alien.
Fair. Obviously, you've never seen a non-Batarian alien before. So, you want to join in the watch, or are you just kind of like watching her, like?
Kind of watching her. It's like, can I trust this thing?
Wow.
Like I'm all scaly and.
Did you kinda look
Cerberus
like
wants
Turian.
you.
And I want Cerberus.
But yeah, it's the first alien that anybody has seen on this planet that's not Batarian.
Okay, so you're more or less just kind of like keeping an eye on her and all that stuff. So one of the things that you're going to notice... Well, actually, Aaron, why don't you describe more or less your general actions during this watch? It's going to be pretty simplistic, but go ahead.
Yeah, no, she's very still. Like eerily still.
Hmm.
Like when you watch like a cat like about to like pounce or like an animal like hyper focused like on guarding. Like that is what she's doing right now.
But with a cat, they only do that for like 2 or 3 minutes, and they start licking themselves.
No, they can do
Well,
it
then
for
like
a
a dog.
while.
Yeah.
They
Like
can-
a dog
they
with
can-
their like full guard dog mode. Like they're just
Yeah.
standing there and they're just listening very intently.
Okay, so you just more or less see this for hours. Any reactions to that at all, Frank, or just internalizing it?
Definitely internalizing it.
Okay, perfect. So let's move on. So that is you guys' turns. So you notice, Aaron, because like as a bird of prey, you actually have a different perspective of worlds, And so you notice that there are creatures about out there. Maybe they just weren't at the time, or maybe you just for some reason are better at this stuff than Carmine.
Mm-hmm.
But there's something out there, and it's very clear by where the sounds are and whatnot that you hear movement, but it's not that direction, not really that direction. It's mostly this direction, the direction that you came from. And you imagine the reason why that's the case is because there is a trail of blood.
Blood.
And so whatever it is has been about the same distance for an extended period of time over in that direction. Probably recognizes that there is a wounded thing up here, but still trying to calculate how to, you know what I mean? So as for what it is, you don't know, but you're assuming it's probably more of these creatures because usually Batarians or whatever would behave differently, right? From what you can hear and see. Do you guys do anything with this information, or?
I would say we are being hunted.
You are being hunted.
The
Carmine's still
bleeding
fast asleep.
person we have brought with us is being hunted.
Oh yes, a bleeding organic is a feast to the indigenous life of Timora.
Well,
They haven't yet decided how to attack us, and they're not circling.
we
Yet.
could just leave him. You know. He'll
Not yet.
give
Don't
us
worry.
time.
No man left behind.
Sorry, I just thought of trolls for a second. Ollie, could you roll me a lore intelligence check, please? No trolls left behind.
Don't
Why
know
is
what
that
you're
where your
referencing.
brain went? I guess because you've been watching Trolls a bunch because you have a daughter.
Oh,
I don't think any of us
it's
have
Rory.
still seen trolls. Like,
It's Brittany that
had
likes
discussion
watching
before.
trolls.
Boo!
I'm sure there's references happening here, but it's all just like, I don't know.
It doesn't matter. It really doesn't. One of the things that you know, Ollie, is that while you are 100% correct in your statement, these creatures generally like their meat juicy because that's their best source of getting liquid into their body.
That's true.
So the idea of a bleeding out, it's almost like leaving your refrigerator door open and going, do I really want that steak? You know what I mean?
All right, I'll speak up, and it is only a matter of time. A living prey is far more valuable to the indigenous life forms on this planet. They may be satisfied with the trail of blood that has been left, but soon they will want more.
Okay. So, morning comes. Everybody's up and trying to get about. He's not really moving.
I immediately, when I wake up and like shake off, like, not really the hangover, but like definitely lacking energy still,
Yeah.
I immediately go over to check him.
I imagine for you to keep up using that thing as like long periods of time like that, you're just fucking shoveling calories in. You're like having, 7 eggs, several strips of bacon, a pancake, and a carton of ice cream for
You
breakfast.
definitely have those right now, yes.
Yeah, all of them.
Yes,
All of them.
totally.
Actually, no lies though. You probably do have a good amount of rations from the ship. So you're like, oh, I got food. And you have Sid over there like,
What
No.
are
Hey,
these
what
things
about,
you call
what about my
eggs?
guy? You're
Oh.
supposed to gather food.
he was supposed to, but he when looking around bumped into Icarus and things kind of went sideways from there. So
Oh, you just schmuck.
yeah.
Food? I'm carrying 7 days of food. For
what
two
do I eat though?
You bring your own food.
I do. Okay.
Yeah.
I will make sure I have that on me.
Yeah. Oh, of course.
So you're
Otherwise
now
you
on
die.
a planet full of humans and Batarians. You need Turian food.
Nat, Scott already said that there are animals on this planet that are
It's
their
true.
strand.
Yep.
And you don't let him forget it.
It's true.
So now for you, Rickles, could you notice that your friend isn't really, like I said, you woke up, you shake everything off, and go over to him. He's not really moving. He's very pale. You're not sure if he's breathing.
Yeah, I immediately hook up the med kit and like use its diagnostic tools or whatever.
Okay, that's a first aid check, but it's a very simple one. Yep. So
Well, he's dead.
Jesus Christ.
that's a minimum to succeed, right? So
Yeah, snake eyes in a 3.
So you look at the the kit. So you're looking him over and you're like, you see vital signs, like he is alive, but barely hanging on. It's one of those things where you're like, oh god, this guy is in such terrible shape. He's lost so much blood that like you don't think he's gonna survive. You know, because he's continuing to just leak out blood, ooze out blood. You don't know if he's going to even make it the next 24 hours to get him, or let's say 14 hours of travel to get him to where he needs to be. And that's assuming he's not walking. You don't even know if you can get him to his feet.
Yeah, I walk up to Sid and his friends like, this might sound a little weird, but could I borrow you two for a moment?
Looks to Sid.
I mean, maybe.
What's it for?
Well, he's not doing too well. He needs a blood transfusion if he's gonna be able to make it much further. It won't hurt, but it is gonna take a tiny bit of time.
Are we the right blood type? Did it change?
Well, I can easily hook you up to the medkit and we'll have a check. Like I said, it won't hurt. Medicine's pretty advanced
Why
nowadays.
not just have that thing carry him? And Sid points towards the robot.
Carrying him isn't really the issue. He's been bleeding the entire time. I've tried to stealth it like as best as I could, but he's almost empty at this point. He's running on minimum.
Because if we're not the right blood type and you use our blood, is that going to be okay for like the day? Or would that be bad?
I think you die when you do that.
Giving a person the wrong blood type is fatal. That's why we're gonna check first.
So we can't just hope that it works for a little while?
No, this is not something you want to risk.
So it's not like just putting the wrong batteries into...
No, you would have the body attacking the new blood cells, and that would go really badly.
Okay, is it bad that I hope I'm the wrong blood type? He says kind of rubbing his arm.
Carmine kind of looks him up and down. Well, you'd be saving a human life if you were the right type. If not, then, well, I would still appreciate the gesture of you being agreeable to this if you were.
I'll try. I'll try. And it looks to Sid.
Sid just, is... I mean, we all die eventually. They're up
Yes,
for it. They're going to try, but...
Oh, so you are going to try. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Good.
But it's if it doesn't work, well...
I was about to say, this is a soldier. He knows how to fight. Looks like he could use some of those, but no, it's fine. We'll go over to the medkit and we'll see if any of them happen to be the right blood type.
Sure, just roll me a first aid check really quickly.
All right. Please don't be crap.
Don't even roll. This is such a simple check for you. You don't even need a roll for something like this. Because your first aid
That's a good
skill
point.
level is what?
It's
1 or 2.
It's a 1.
So things like checking blood type is so rote for you. You know what I mean? You don't need to worry about that.
Yeah.
So I'm sorry for making you roll. We'll save that for
That's
you
fine.
do another one. Which you will. By sheer coincidence, his blood type is the wrong blood type, and Sid's blood type is good. Sid is a match. Sid is actually a universal donor.
Ooh.
Who'd have thunk?
Oh, negative.
You know what I mean? So who'd have thunk? So that's okay. We're gonna use Sid as a juice bag. He's gonna be like a little Capri Sun for the campaign. And so you're gonna hook up Sid to give this guy enough blood to keep kind of pushing on. And we're going to take your first aid check of a 9 to make sure that goes well, make sure it's sanitary, make sure the transfusion happens at a decent pace and whatnot. The question is, do you want to continue spending a few, about an hour? Is that what it is? Because you can't do too much at once. Do you want to spend an hour here at the camp doing it? Or do you want to more or less have Ikelis carry the dude and have Sid walking and doing the transfusion while Sid walks.
I would consult with people around us. Like, it would be safer to do it on the move, and it wouldn't be too much trouble. But it depends on what people feel like.
That would be better.
Sweet. I'm gonna cut the cord, and both just gonna start squirting everywhere.
I mean, worst case scenario, I can carry both of them.
That would
One
be
in
very
each arm.
uncomfortable.
I mean,
It would be uncomfortable
work.
carrying one for them. For them, it would be uncomfortable no matter what.
He's a really big guy, so you'll just end up just carrying him. So you agree to carry him, and you agree to do this on the move. Awesome. So we're just going to take our next break as you guys get all hooked up and then get on the move, and then we'll pick it back up in just a few minutes. So go take a break. I am out of coffee, so I'm thinking about brewing some. I'll see you all in a few minutes. Bye. Hello, everybody, and welcome back. All right, so you hook up the tubes and everything, and you start moving. What I'm going to need from you guys is an strength check to or constitution check, sorry, to really push yourself on. It's an exert strength or constitution, except for you, Rick. Frank, I keep calling you Rick. Frank, could you roll for me that with a -1?
Yes.
Sorry,
I
2.
shall be in siege mode for these purposes.
Of course.
And also, I guess I'm carrying a man.
Good, Sid. You did not do terribly. Oh.
I just rolled well, but it's my shitty stat.
Icarus. You don't have a plus to either strength or...
That's why I go into siege mode. You know what my stats are?
Wait,
I have to go into siege mode to give me a plus.
aren't you in siege mode now?
Yeah,
you just say I'm in
there's a
siege...
+1.
Wait, but you rolled 4. Oh, because you're
I
not
rolled
trained in
4.
it, so 4 minus 1 plus 1.
Yeah.
Gotcha. I don't see the modifier, I'm just seeing the number. It didn't hover, so that's why. Okay, so this is what happens. You guys are pushing yourself on. Pushing yourself forward to try to stay ahead of these hunting creatures and try to stifle the bleeding and just to more or less trying to push yourself as much as possible. The issue is that Icarus is having a hard time because this man is actually heavier than Icarus expects, and Icarus is if it was a crate, just a formed crate, it wouldn't be an issue whatsoever. However, it is a limp body, and he's a big limp body. So one misstep here or one slight turn there, and it slops, and Icarus has to try to scoop under and keep hoisting it up, but it lacks the dexterity or the fine precision to constantly rebalance it. It's supposed to be just move in unison. This is easy, but instead it's So Icarus is actually struggling and holding you guys back considerably as Icarus then has to stop and readjust and then keep going. So you don't make anywhere near as much ground as you hope up until you guys take your first break. When you take your first break, you stop, whatever, have a food. God, 2 things. 1, supplies are low. You don't have a lot of water at all. On the other hand, Sid, you get to have water that they brought with them, because obviously you guys are just sharing or whatever to make sure you can all get there. There's no reason it's not. You get to have water they brought with them. Let me just say, holy fuck.
Good tasting.
This is amazing.
Fucking doesn't have dirt in it.
No dirt, no holy fuck. It is absolutely delicious. It is amazing. Usually when you're trying water from a different planet, we have to make a physical save or something because, microbes. Not this. It's perfectly purified water. No microbes or anything for you to have to worry about harming your body. You're safe. So, yummy. The guy, Rick, roll me. So you pull out your tool and you're checking him. He's holding on, but he's not doing well. It's one of those things where you're gonna have to make a first aid check. Just try to keep him going as you continue pushing on. Roll that for me. And he is. You're patching together. You've pretty much stopped the bleeding. He's not conscious. He's very, very cold. It's way below a safe temperature. He's actually sitting at 92.1 degrees. We're talking borderline, this is extremely low. This is very, very dangerous. And so you're let's just keep going. Let's keep pushing on. Luckily, there's a big beating sun now, but that's not really helping with how cold his body is. At the same time, you can't have him completely exposed to the sun because that would do harm. It's a harsh sun here. You have your break. You keep pushing on. Roll me those same checks, the exert checks.
Scott, I'm gonna patrol the area while they're doing this.
While they're taking their break, you want to push on?
No,
Wait,
I'm
you
just
wanna
patrolling. Yeah.
You can actually hold on 1 second on that exert check, then, Aaron. Do me a favor for the patrol. You can roll me your survive intelligence, or you can roll me a for more or less a patrol, or you can roll me a perception wisdom. Which would you like?
We're gonna go with the perception.
Sure.
Rip.
And that's how the party died in session 1.
Nope, that more or less just means that she didn't notice anything. I wasn't able to give her any additional information, but she's still going to suffer with her exert check a -1 to the check because she didn't rest. So you make your exert check with the -1.
Sure. And what stat am I rolling for that, Scott?
Sorry, your choice: strength or constitution.
I would not have my
One
adrenal
of
pump
both.
on this time, by the way.
That's actually not bad with your -1. I'm sorry, what was that, Rick?
I have not had my pump on this entire morning so far.
Yeah. So you're taking no penalties or anything like that. You're good. All right. So it's Icarus, Carmine, Constantinia. We're still waiting for Sid's exert.
Oh, sorry, I thought I already put that through.
Strength or con. Okay. So actually,
Yay!
nobody does terribly. You guys are actually able to push on. Especially Icarus is like, I figured it out. This is what we're gonna do. We're gonna grab this like hunk of, doesn't really matter what. We're gonna grab like some, goes over and grabs some of the vines, strips away. It's like a sweeping hand motion of the Duratanium, strips away a ton of the spikes that are on it that would usually impale and kill somebody. Strips them away, twines them together very loosely. Nothing super comfortable, but just like the body is on some support between the arms, and then just walks. So
It's
much
called
easier
a
time.
rescue hammock.
Look at that. But very shittily put together very quickly, right? So you guys are pushing on and making some really good time this time. It's getting around to nightfall, and you know that you guys are really fucking close. Ollie, when you can take your next break, it's one of those things where you can either push on, or you could take a break and then get there. If you push on, there's a good chance you'll get there before dark, or right after sunset. If you take a break, you're definitely going to get there after the sun sets. What do you think is the better option, team?
I would straight tell them that you do
push
not
on.
want to arrive, yes, after sunset. You might be seen as threats by the indigenous life or the Timuran.
They recognize you, don't they?
Yes. This would cause a lot of questions, and people who are attempting to sleep are not very reasonable when trying to listen to answers.
Oh, don't worry. I wasn't trying to suggest going. No, let's just keep going. No, Carl
You
was
realize
considering
you're
all the
talking
options.
to a robot and just like trail off.
I love how his tune just completely changed. I wasn't trying to. Okay.
No, he was just trying to get some answers and like get some information. He was never considering staying like after dark with a bleeding man, well, who's now not bleeding anymore, but he's still feeling pretty bad.
Yeah.
There's no blood left.
So you guys want to push on. So everybody's actually going to make me one last exert check. However, if you were already taking penalties, you're taking a greater penalty now.
Yay.
So there'll be Aaron and Rick. You're rolling. Sorry, I keep saying that. Aaron and Frank, you're rolling with a -2. The other two are rolling with -1s.
I did great.
Just a sack of shit.
Yep. So we're looking at this,
Can't
and
do anything about that.
Carmine,
The
you're-
rescue hammock falls apart.
You're pushing on, Carmine, and you're not having an issue because of the fact that you never pumped on your adrenal pump. You never taxed your body, so your body has this well of energy like inside of it. So you're like, I don't need a break. I can just keep pushing, and you do. You know, you get that soldier training, so on and so forth. You have Sid, who gave a lot of blood earlier. So let's be fair. Sid, who's like, God, this is a hike. This is a push, and we're getting back to the
this
town.
sucks.
When I wanted the parts to the ship over there, we're going back to the town. This does suck. But Sid's able to kind of like hide that from the fact that Sid's friend is like way trailing behind and causing some issues by being like way back there. Constantinia is just struggling because she spent so much time, circling. She's just getting tired. It's starting to wear on her. As for Icarus, at one point in time, similar to Carmine did earlier with his friend when he was over, you like step into a ditch that you didn't see there because his body was in the way of the sensor. You step into a ditch that you didn't see there, and the body like drops hard, so you catch it to the point where like it doesn't hit the ground and you don't necessarily harm him, but it does make all the vines and everything stress to the point where this isn't even usable anymore. So you end up having to like scoop him up and hold him strange. You still got this like big floppy body on him, much like carrying, you know, an oversized child passed out, like through the woods. So it's very uncomfortable, especially avoiding all these, you know, vines and everything around you. Please. You think you were going to say something? Nope. Okay, cool. So you guys do get there after dark. You are going to be getting where you can see off into the distance. Like, oh, we see some lights. Thank God, we're almost there.
I would definitely be showing them to the rebel camp first.
Oh.
Because that would just be where I'm more used to. I would know the route there better.
You specifically were saying the city, so I assume it's the city.
Well, the city, by my understanding, this is like before the city. So...
I thought it was like a day away.
No, it's on the edge. The city's in a ditch, and it's on the edge.
So I don't know if you remember, but like there was actually even longer travel to get back to the rebel camp. So let me describe.
If it's longer, then I wouldn't do it.
Okay, because
I assumed it would be shorter.
It was a
because
month
of how
ago. It was a month ago in real life time, so it's kind of hard to remember the times. But so this was actually on the other side of the. So the rebel camp's on this side of the city. The crash is on the other side.
All right,
there you go.
That's fair.
Okay, so you would go to the city then. Okay, so when you guys are making your way there, everybody make me perception wisdom checks.
I'm not wise.
Jesus.
Sid in Constantinia, you hear it. Cracking, breaking of branches and stuff like that. The creatures that live out here don't have to be stealthy. They're not designed to be stealthy unless there's like staying still, lying low, and like they don't move stealthily. So you hear the cracking and the breaking of all the vines and everything around. So you're like, oh shit, there's two of them coming, and they're coming from different directions. Now these creatures aren't pack creatures. They're not meant to work together and help fight together. So that just means that you've had enough trailing you for so long. And these creatures, as Sid and Icarus know, they're not going to attack the city generally because they generally know it's a really bad idea. But if they see that you're about to get out of more or less their turf, they're going to grab you now. And so you see two of them coming at you really fast. What do you say? What's your?
I pounce.
So
back.
more or less, you just turn and start running at one of them.
Yeah.
You're not charging me.
Is it one of those?
You.
And what about you, Sid?
Sid is going to like start shouting, as they see the alien running off.
Oh, it's so funny. So imagine she
I
gets
would
up
kind of
and
like
she turns.
nod to Sid, like you got that one, like, and then take off.
She starts running, and Sid's like, Thumper! Slow-mo, distorted face.
Just that Olympic music in the background.
Everybody roll me your initiative checks, please. But before you do that, allow me to, because I'm a big dummy, I forgot to, there we go.
Clear
That's
it.
better. Yep, let me clear it now, and highlight your mini and go. Everybody should be, okay, good, it worked for you this time.
Yeah, I fixed it.
Okay.
It's because I changed my name.
Oh, I thought I screwed something up. Okay, cool.
Nah. I mean, you did, but.
Hey. It's true. All right. Here we go. Initiative.
And we all die.
Fast beasties.
I want you. Copy, paste. Okay. And we'll roll one for you as well. There should be two on the map. There are. Descending order. And so the first one to go. Oh wow, you guys did roll really shitty. Holy crap. So the first thumper is actually going to be able to go first. So the two thumpers go first. And so as I described, your friend there, Sid, was trailing behind a considerable amount. And so that's the target of the first.
Yeah, he's dead. It's fine.
Yeah. So the thumper is going to make its charge attack against that little fucker.
He doesn't even have a name. Like
He did.
we don't give a fuck.
Last session.
Did he?
Last
Did you just not remember what it is?
That
No,
may
I
or
don't.
may not be the case. Oh wait, what did I roll? I rolled charge.
Charge.
Did it actually have my attack roll added onto it? Hold on.
It has a plus
Oh,
6.
I rolled shitty. Holy fuck! I rolled a 2.
Yeah,
Okay,
that's
join the club.
That's just bad luck.
That's really bad luck.
Well, I need to ask you one thing. Does
Shoot.
this other thumper look like he's gonna jump for our injured friend?
Yeah, no, because the injured friends and Icarus, they're going for the weak one that's behind. The one that's trailing the most, because that's like the easiest target to get fresh meat, right? So the
Okay.
first one goes
The guy
lunging
I'm
at the little
carrying isn't
guy.
interesting anymore. He's
But
too
like,
empty.
so the little guy, so you see, he like reacts and he's like, ah! And he like just barely gets out of the way of the thing lumping next to him and like whipping around. But as it whips around, its huge spiked tail whips around too. Not to the way of hitting it, but whips around in such a way that when we describe Erin's turn, it'll affect her. Let's go to the other one who's then also going to jump on the guy from the other side.
I was debating whether to interrupt your fun, but I'm gonna let you have it. Because you're all like shit anyway.
Come on! I just want to kill an NPC! I just want to kill one of them! Ah.
This is why you don't roll your rolls in public, man. You're like, oh, it looks like they had a crit. Oh no! I won't have to remember his name if he's dead.
So,
It's time for you to die, Horatio.
so you jumps out, lunges at a thing, but because we do have critical failures and critical successes in this game, when lunges at it, it actually lunges and lands on top of the other beast. It's actually that point where you're not sure if it was lunging at him or because there's always turf battles over food and mating and stuff like that.
It's Monster Hunter.
If this hunting creature is going at the other hunter as well, right? So it actually jumps on top of the other one and says like "Brrr," and bowls into it and it attacks that one instead. Fuck me. Ugh.
That's great. I love it
Constantina.
when they fight each other. They drop some resources. It's really
Let them fight.
Your turn, Constantina.
Okay.
I do have to say, Ollie, when it comes to like the new bit format, I'm not a huge fan of it in general. I like the
You
idea.
can turn
of
it off.
Yeah, I know. I like the idea of like respecting like the big one as opposed to the small one. But I do like the concept of penny battles. Like, you know what I mean?
Bit
like,
wars are pretty fun.
like bit wars, but
Yeah.
I don't mean like the big bit wars because that was always existed to some degree. I mean like the small ones, like
Yeah,
the
no.
3 pennies, 5 pennies. Like I love it. I think it's fun. It's like playing poker when you were like 11. You know
I'm
what I
just
mean?
gonna roll damage.
It's fun.
Yeah, go ahead.
You hit. I was having a conversation with Ollie.
That's with your bird hands.
Jesus.
You
Jeez,
do
where does that
2d6
plus 6 come
damage with your
from?
bird hands.
And their advanced weapons.
That doesn't
And
even
they got you.
actually make sense.
Scott,
So
I didn't make
you
the
attacked
roll.
you attacked the
Weapon.
first one that jumped in, or the second one that jumped in, Aaron?
The first one.
Okay.
Whichever one was closer.
Yep. So the first one jumps in, and jumps down, hits the ground, misses the guy. The second one jumps on top of the first one, plowing into it and harming it, but not like really. The first one's tail whipping around. Constantina comes rushing in to make sure that she's there to save the day. And as she goes running in, the tail whips around. And it's one of those like run, run, run. It actually starts to drop down to slide underneath the tail as it comes whipping around past the head. The spikes on this tail are fucking huge. They're ginormous. And so ending up the slide with a little bit of a lunge upwards to get onto the thing's back. Because the important thing is that the carapace is all in the head and neck and shoulders, but not in the back. And it starts clawing into the back and ripping with huge rakes, ripping open the skin. Blood is spilling out everywhere. Now the upside is, this thing is completely exposed to you. You're just fucking it up. The downside is, there's another one right next to it, and you're also right in front, like, yummy.
It might just attack its bleeding friend though.
It might just take advantage of like fresh meat
Yeah.
right there.
Yeah.
Is there anything else you could do on this turn, Aaron, or is that your whole turn?
There's something else I want to do now. I can move, so I can jump off of it.
Yeah. But you want to stay
I'll
on?
probably do that. Yeah, I'll stay on.
Okay. Carmine.
Carmine just yells something vague about how it's apparently mating season, runs up and tries to shotgun the uninjured one.
Okay.
How far away would that be?
We're very close. You're going to move like 4 or 5 meters, and it's going to be in like only a couple meters away from that. They're all very
Okay,
close to you.
no range penalty then. I like it.
Mm-hmm.
Yee.
And the shotgun blows up.
No, it's fine. It's fine. I can take one crit and turn it into a not fail.
Is that what you're gonna do?
Yeah.
Aaron,
I
you're
like
lucky
this gun.
you did not take a bullet. Go ahead.
That makes a second time because I was
Mine-
tempted to shoot you
It's
with
funny
the
because
ship.
remember, if you miss, you still do shock damage with your shotgun.
Yeah, but this is better.
Okay. I was just more or less going to have the shock damage hit the guy you were shooting at and Aaron. All right, so you're shooting at the guy that was already injured, correct?
No, the uninjured
Oh,
one.
the uninjured one. My apologies. You had said that. So yeah, you more or less because they're all tangled into each other. You move, you run your way around to make sure that his head is exactly opposite of you and facing at Aaron and everything. And you're just like line up the shot. Boom! You blow it right into the back of the head. So it's like the shoulder blades right behind where the carapace is. So it goes right underneath the all the hardened shell and into its brain, exploding its brain apart from the inside. It just slumps down dead on the ground. Nothing. It's just dead. After you is going to be Icolus's turn.
I keep walking towards the city.
Taken
We've
care of.
got this. it's
My
fine.
head is turned all the way around watching the fight, but I keep walking.
That's creepy, but okay.
Who give a fuck? I'm a robot.
All right. So Icolus just more or less keeps marching forward. Sid.
Sid is going to get her friend and get them moving. I need to go run and get the car in the garage because there's hail
Oh,
and
hey,
my car's about to get destroyed.
go right ahead.
So that's what Sid's going to do is
Grab and
that
run.
real quick.
Book it.
Damn it! I couldn't even kill the NPC because you guys killed these people too efficiently. So this one is all sorts of fucked up. But predators don't generally run away when they get kind of like in kill mode. So it's going to the one that Erin's standing on is going to try to attack at Erin. Now, fortunately for it,
I'm going to do an interrupt action, and I'm going to attack it.
oh come on, with a minus with a minus 4.
-4, whatever, but I automatically hit because I'm a soldier.
Oh,
Hey.
come on! Come on! That's so much damage! Come on! You take all my fun away! You do your kill.
It's already bleeding out, so yeah, I just break its neck.
It's like literally one of those, you reach the claws the rest of the way and then
Mm-hmm.
grab the spine underneath so it doesn't have like, and just dislocate a couple of the vertebrae.
Your description's always so fucking gruesome.
Yeah?
No,
what are you
he
gonna
just-
do?
he just
Wrestle
doesn't
like an
like
alligator and
gore
twist?
It's funny because like
You like
there's
wrestling
less
gators?
of this gore in D&D, but just for some reason Mass Effect is super gory. It's not like the games are. Just this is.
Yeah, and then I mean, I'll probably like cut open like one of its arteries so it's like bleeding out, so it'll attract other predators like away from us, like drag the corpse off, so that way they won't continue coming towards us.
How far off? Because you have to go a considerable distance for it to...
Not far enough to where I can't get back to the party like immediately,
Okay.
like enough so I can like jog back.
So, so you just drag it off for a bit, more or less, just trying to like keep track of where the party is going.
Mm-hmm.
They're a pretty easy trail to follow, anyways, because there's a bleeding guy, or at least footprints, I should say, in the dirt. So, if you guys keep making your way to the fucking city and get there, yay, you get there. No, nobody takes any damage. That's cool, guys.
I mean,
Just be heroic and save all the NPCs in the escort mission. Good job. Achievement unlocked.
It's
So,
the job we
yeah.
wanted to do.
it is we did do a good job.
I know, you're heroes. It's upsetting.
Just
So-
wait until we get to the Batarian base.
Oh, I know. All right, so you make your way all the way into the city. Now, as the group of you is approaching the city, immediately the big spotlights are turned on. Everything's aimed your way. People have their weapons out. They're aimed at you. Now, most of these weapons are very early weapons, so they're like still black powder to
Slug
early...
throwers.
Exactly. To a few of them being early Mass Effect weapons, right? Enemy
Oh,
weapons.
yeah.
So they're not things that maybe somebody like Carmine or Constantinia would be very concerned about, but they're still scary to a degree. And so they're like, you know, a loudspeaker, and this is more or less a futuristic kind of megaphone, calls out like, what calls out, alert, alert, we're under attack, alert. And then you hear like a couple moments later, an alarm goes on in the base, and almost sounds like an air siren goes on to bring everybody to alert of the fact that there's an attack happening. And you see people kind of like coming up and lining up and getting ready to attack back at you guys. Full scale alerts and alarms.
Icarus just loudly booms out and is like, "You know you're not under attack."
Sid is just gonna like hands up, like, "No, it's Sid. You know who I am."
It takes them a couple moments after like they get the light fully on you to see like the assortment of what you are: a bleeding man, a few other humans, something new, and Icarus. So once they realize what it is and the alarms kind of go off and everything kind of simmers down. This whole process of alarms going up takes like 15-20 seconds, and then for them to go back down takes like another minute and a half for things to kind of settle back down. Everybody's on high alert. If anybody was sleeping, they're all wide awake. Granted, it's only like shortly after nightfall, but the days here are long. Whatever, moving on. So you have one of the people comes out to meet up with you guys. You imagine the mayor is shortly behind, but one of the guards comes out to meet up with you guys. He's one of the younger ones, probably in like his mid-20s kind of range. And so he comes out. He's like, "What is this?" Gesturing towards the group of you people.
Ships crashed outside. There were survivors. This one may not survive much longer.
Did you check the crash site?
Of one of the ships.
We saw a Batarian ship. It crashed distance away. This is not a Batarian ship, this other one?
These are not...
ship.
What did you say, Frank?
This is an alliance ship. And they just like point over their shoulder towards Cameroon. That's Earth.
There were two ships?
There were two
At
ships.
this point, Carmine steps forward.
You
Not
guys know that it
necessarily
was a
alliance.
bit of work to see the two different ships.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but go ahead, Carmine.
Not exactly alliance, but mercenaries. Most of them ex-alliance. We happen to really hate Batarians. We took down their carrier.
That is good to hear. Come in, please. And brings you, like, waves you guys into the like the kind of wall. Again, the walls here aren't like super sturdy and whatnot. They're just enough to like make it difficult for people. But anybody could climb them. Anybody could like blast their way if they wanted to. It's just enough to like slow people down or make them think about tactics as opposed to just walking in. You know what I mean? So so the walls here aren't exactly super impressive. And don't forget, this is down at the bottom of what would have been like a ravine inside of an ocean. So there is like a whole bunch of, like rock around that helps to form it. So as you guys go walking into this this area, you see that there are others that are standing around with their weapons at the ready. Carmine, instantly. Constantinia, instantly. You were able to see the weapons they have are sad. Carmine, you actually have seen these weapons before. You were trained as a soldier. There's no question. You know the history of the Alliance and the history of weaponry and the weapons that were developed pre First Contact, and right after we and the weapons that existed before we discovered the Prothean base on Mars. You know what I mean? So you're like, wow, look at this. They are effectively antiques. They're like carrying around swords in the age of guns. You know what I mean? Like it's cute.
It kind of reminds me of that planet we were on in like the first season.
I was thinking that.
The ghetto planet, basically.
Yeah, except they even had like fully some of these aren't even Mass Effect weapons, right? Some of these are even like black powdered weapons. So or gunpowder weapons. I shouldn't say black powder. It's very inaccurate. So gunpowder weapons, slug throwers is all he said. So you look around and you see that, and you see like very few of them have any form of armor worth noting. It's more or less just like reinforced clothing. One of the things you also note right away, Rick, is this place has been turned upside down, but this is like Solarian architecture. Like, you're like, this is like, okay, this doesn't make sense. Like, this has all been fucked with. But this is clearly Solarian architecture here that's been fucked with in some way to make it, et cetera, right? To make it so they can have houses and so on and so forth. So you go walking in, you see this like sad group of people all around you, but they all seem to feel like they're fully armed and like prepared for handling whatever they need to handle. Constantinia, you of course see this stuff as well. I imagine both of you guys calculating in your head what you need to do if things turn sideways, but expecting them not to. And so as you guys come in and you're more and more lights, because they're shining the light in the area, it's much more brightly lit here, especially since the alarm went off. And you see a group of 3 people jogging their way over to where you are from a distance away. A few of them have their guns straight on trained at Constantinia. And one of them's like, "What the hell is this?" Gesturing to her.
I'm a Taurian.
She is Turian.
Turian. What is this Turian?
Not
She
potato.
is an alien. A
Uh,
kind alien.
Icarus starts like explaining, doing like the scientific blurb.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's funny because like
They planned a race found on this with this, and this. Like more than she knows about her own race.
so he's
After
like
he's
blurbing.
gone on for a few minutes, Carmine will interrupt you and say, "It's like not helping."
Icarus continues, but
Icarus.
quieter.
So you say not helping. The mayor actually of the town gets up, like actually approaches, gets there, and is like listening to tail end of this. You say not helping, and the guard actually says, "But Turian sounds like Batarian," like trying to draw some sort of logic. And this is when the
Turian
mayor.
I am a
help me
soldier.
fight Batarians.
Go ahead, Aaron.
The Taurian can speak for herself.
So you guys like kind of like instantly start like talking back, like what the hell's the matter? Like, your own like little phrase that you just said there, and the mayor puts his hand like a firm grip on the soldier's arm with his guard's arms, like shut him up, and comes forward and he's like, "Hello, I'm sorry about all of this. Please, there was a crash, and I hear that there was potentially 2 ships, and I am guessing that you are from the second ship."
Yes,
Yes.
that is accurate.
A few of the guards said that there was a second ship, and so I'm glad that it was true. Please come with me. I'll bring you to a little bit more comfortable place. And
Could you bring us to the medical center? And I point at my friend.
and then it's one of those things where he sees the person, and you can see it kind of like come across his mind, but he was assessing so much at once he didn't even realize that person, and kind of like his face falls a bit, like oh shit, and he's like, "Oh yes, immediately. Please fetch doctor. Fetch doctor immediately." And they will call for the doctor to come like rushing over and everything. And he'll actually go up to the person himself and be like, "Not Alliance."
Not anymore.
It is okay. I have many questions, but one at a time. And
Let's save his life, and then I'll answer your questions.
yes. Who has done Pet's job?
Me, and I point at my medkit at my hip.
Would you like to go with?
Of course.
And he does look at your med kit, and he's like, "Cause I think that is more advanced than anything we got here."
We'll see what we can do.
And so that like once he comes to all this realization, that immediately detracts from let's go to my place so we can chat. And actually, all of you guys are going to the medical building together. Now, the cool thing about the medical building when you walk in, Rick, is you can actually see, and this actually makes you a little bit happy. The room that they're using as a medical building clearly was for some sort of medical treatment before. If you had to guess from like your studying of Solarian stuff since you like woke back up and have been out in the world for a few years, if you had to guess, it's probably like a laboratory for like experimentation and stuff like that. But it doesn't change the fact that it at least was, it's designed to be a medical facility, just has almost everything rated from it. And so there are little bits of supplies here that you can use, but maybe your kit's better.
Yeah.
So Icarus is able to walk in with him and place him on the table. Immediately everybody goes over and they start going to clean him. Now, this is one of those things where when they go to clean him, they're going to get like rags to clean him with, and they're pouring water onto the rags and everything. Things just don't look clean. It's just.
I would interrupt them immediately and hand them my water. That's actually clean.
You'd be like, no, like use this and like use these kind of like probably pull some rags out and like use these instead, sort of a thing. So they'll go to do that, and when they pour the water onto it and they see how crystal clear the water is, they like forget what they're doing for a moment. It's like this moment of like they're enamored with like this water doesn't have a reddish tinge to it. Like it's clear water, and so they literally focused on it. And one of them actually like picks up the bottle and they go to like they're gonna sip out of it.
Drinks after. Save his life first.
Oh, yes. And
Not to
so
be rude, but very clearly, like, we have bigger issues at the moment.
someone's gonna die. Quench your thirst later.
Yeah.
So prioritize. So they go and they get the rags ready and they start like cleaning his wounds and try to clean him up. The doctor does come in. The doctor's actually very young, probably about like 16, 17 years old. So very, very young, but comes walking in and walks over and he's like, hello, and like walks in the room, takes a moment to like kind of gather themselves, seeing like all the different peoples, seeing the Taurian, kind of like staring for a second, and then moving over to
Probably trying to clean the blood off myself because there's a lot of it.
Then like, moving over
It's
to
like
look
stuck
at
in my
Sid.
talons.
Yeah. Lovely,
You use
Aaron.
dirty-
That's like a great way. So looking over to Sid, because at least has like a rapport with Sid. This is like a nerdy kid that like nobody really got along with because of who his parents were and the connections. They were always forced to be like always study, always study, always study. So never really got to communicate with the others. But is genuinely brilliant, right? So actually turns to Sid because you guys know each other. His name is
Alejandro.
No, it's Ivan. Lame, but
Close enough.
it's Ivan. And so he turns to you and he's like, Sid, what is the subject? What has happened?
I mean, he was in a crash.
Diagnostics?
Alive.
Carmine will start filling him in with all the technical details. Also the part that, oh yeah, there was a bit of metal stuck in his stomach for a bit. That probably didn't help.
You start like rattling all this stuff off, and clearly he's listening, goes over and like rinses off his hands. You can see that the water he's washing his hands with is a bit cleaner than the one they were originally going to put on the rags, but still not as good
I would
as
also
yours.
point him to my water. Just be like, it's fine.
He would actually, if you say that, he'd be like, "It's been sanitized, or it's been purified," and he will clean his hands and grab over to get his tools, which again will function, but aren't going to be as good as your tools. So I imagine you like bust open your kit, and he will look at the kit and say, like as you continue saying things, he'll actually stop and turn to you and be like, "What's your name?"
Name's Carmine.
Carmine. Ivan. Nice to meet you. I don't know what those are. I'm sure I could figure out some of them, but every moment is going to matter, and so I'd rather use the ones I'm familiar with. If you think that
I'm here
there's
to
something...
assist.
Thank you. And so please pull from your own kit. Just explain to me what you're going to do before you do it so we can do this together. And he's going to grab his tools and bring them over to the table and immediately start jumping in. You're going to see, like, his nurse eventually, like, makes their way in, like, right after you guys are getting started. Goes over, washes his hands off. This is a much, much, much older person. Clearly probably was the doctor before this kid took over. So, comes in, very well practiced, knows what they're doing, too. Goes over. If you had to guess, probably was a military field medic before all of, you know what I mean? And so comes over and lends assistance and actually is kind of more familiar with what your tools are than the kid is, even though the kid is clearly better. Whatever. You guys work together. You're going to be able to make for me a first aid check there, sir. I'm actually giving you a +3. If you choose to, you do have party pool of luck.
I was thinking of using it mostly because we have 6 points, and I want to stipe it to you that we actually keep the NPC alive. So yeah, I'm gonna use one.
Sure. So then you hit the what color button is that? Blue instead of green? You know what you're doing.
It's the purple one.
Oh, purple. That's right, purple. Wow, you rolled garbage. Is that with the +3 and everything?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, it's a good thing you got that additional +3. Wait, I thought your first aid usually gets a bonus.
I don't see a +3 on there.
Yeah, I don't think you... Did you apply a +3?
You got a
Should be.
+2,
Yeah, because you
but
rolled...
not from a modifier.
I mean, I can roll again if you want.
Well, because you rolled 8 normally, and you get what? +1 for first aid and +1 for intelligence, right?
Yeah, I don't think it applied, even though it's like before the like equal sign.
Yeah,
the
it's in the
results
wrong
inside?
place on the math.
Yeah. So
Although
that should have
that
been a
button-
13.
I think just doesn't work right now. As
Are
it meant
you
to.
typing in the plus sign?
No, it's like look at it. It's
Yeah.
just the
Pretty sure I
plus is
didn't.
in the plus is just in the wrong place somehow.
Yeah, it seems,
Yeah.
it seems weird. Try that again and just press the 3 and roll and see what happens. Same exact thing.
Yep.
Because
Yeah, no, it just doesn't
Same
apply.
issue.
Oh, that's
So it
weird.
was a 13.
Maybe it's only for the 46 drop lowest 2. Maybe I screwed up the... can you do me a favor?
That's
I'm so
what I
sorry to do
think
this
it
like mid session, just so I want to make sure I don't screw anything out for the rest of the session. Can you do that same exact thing for me with the green one and the same exact thing for the gray one? So sorry. We're going to take the first roll and just add 3 to it, so... So for the green one, you rolled a 10 plus... It also didn't apply.
No, it just doesn't apply. You've probably set the thing up wrong and then copied it like 2
Have
more
I been
times.
doing so badly? And it's not been my bad?
No, because I've given you penalties, and those probably also didn't apply. So I'll just have to fix it after this session. That's weird. So your original roll was a 13. That's what we're going to go with for the 3 of you working together to try to save this man's life. It was a DC 12. So you guys actually successfully... You use one in the party pool of luck. So you downside, I think, 5 of them. So you actually do save this man's life. You work together. You're able to remove out that huge chunk of metal, sew up the insides, get everything. You believe that he's going to be okay. So when it's all said and done, the kid says to you, he's like, "We will do what we can to keep him alive. My concern is this. Not only is he clearly injured and be able to stabilize his body and keep him going, my concern is that he's new to this planet, and so there's all sorts of microbes that his body is going to be fighting against, on top of the already infections and whatnot he would have to fight against. And we don't really have a decent supply of antibiotics or something for an immunobooster for coming to this planet. I don't think you guys would have taken one before coming here. I imagine that didn't happen, and you didn't. And then on top of that, he needs to stay extremely hydrated. We will have to give him transfusions for people that are appropriate donors, and those people have to have an increase of rations, including water especially. He's going to need to take a lot of water. All of these resources are extremely taxing to our community, and we don't know him. He's not a part of our community. So that's going to have to be something that you work out with the mayor. He might choose not to divert those resources there because it harms everybody else for this one stranger. I'm just trying to be honest.
I appreciate your concern, and I will take note of that. But I am sure we can come to an agreement.
I'm hoping you can. I imagine you came here shooting down that ship that we saw, yes?
Correct, yeah.
Thank you. My parents were both taken when I was younger, it was a few years ago, as slaves. So, thank you.
Carmine just kind of frowns for a moment, just kind of silence, and then we'll do something about that sooner or later. Don't worry.
I always keep my hopes. And he'll actually like stand over the person, and he stops. And this is something like you haven't seen in most humans do in a long time. He actually stops, especially for like a doctor, stands over the body, puts his hands together, and he is silent for about 30 seconds or so, and ends with and then turns and walks out of the room, like washes his hands, walks out of the room. It's one of those things. It's like, what, did he just like pray over the body? That's weird. And
To each your own.
And after kind of like all said and done, because the mayor went to go kind of like handle other things and calm shit down, because there's obviously like you were guided to the mayor's home, so you can meet with him. He of course has his office there. Blah, 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 blah. So you're guided there, where the guard opens the door for you guys to go in, and the mayor's on the inside, and he's like, "Oh, hello, come in, please. Remove shoes, take off shoes," and you guys.
Icarus looks down and stands in the doorway and doesn't enter.
Well, he actually honestly doesn't need the robot in there. So here's the robot.
Well, I probably know more than everyone else. That's why I followed along.
Yep. So you go and you stand in the door. And for him, it's one of those. Everybody else comes in. You all remove your shoes.
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
I assume that's like a typical thing.
yep. So
Yeah, because considering the ground here like turns into a paste.
Yeah.
Yeah, you remove your shoes because that
Wait.
ain't getting out
Is it a typical thing?
I mean, the culture here.
for this place
Here,
here.
yes.
Is it
Would
a
I consider
Taurian
it a typical thing? Yeah.
Probably not.
Probably not. So I wouldn't.
So wait, he specifically did ask, so you don't do it anyways?
Oh, if he asked, then yeah.
Yeah, 'cause
Yeah,
he
he's
specifically
totally
did.
yeah.
So you take your boots off, you leave them to the side. There's clearly a spot to put them and whatnot. So you put the boots off to the side, and he actually will go over, and Icarus is standing in the doorway. He just shuts the door on Icarus. I guess he's not a person. And goes and walks with you guys to go sit down. He's like, please, take a seat right over here. And could I get you perhaps fresh water?
At this point, Karma's like, the water I have is probably better than the water you guys have. No offense, but I saw the water you guys were using for surgery.
Yes, I understand that clearly your supplies are going to be a bit better, but they're also going to be a bit limited.
For now.
Suit yourself. And he will get water for the others that are there, including Sid's friend who's still alive, who is actually like,
Somehow.
Sir, can I leave? Yes, of course. You're not a prisoner here. You may go. It kind of like looks to the rest of you like, is he important?
Carmine
Sid
kind
is-
of takes note at the specific use of the word prisoner, but doesn't noticeably react to it.
I choose to remain standing.
Sid
I
is
take
also
the
gonna.
water.
You say you drink the water or refuse it?
I take it. I
Okay,
don't
cool.
drink it.
Cool.
But Sid's gonna
worse.
take her friend aside
Yep.
and just be like, get the gang together, get to the ship, grab everything you can.
I need a sleep.
Okay, go tell them, get your sleep, grab everything you can.
But we almost died, Sid. We almost died.
Okay.
Remember they
and
said that we would die, and they were almost right. We almost died.
Sid just like doesn't smack him, but just go, hey, and we can be rich.
I do want to be rich.
So we all die eventually.
To be rich, you have to be alive.
Sid, why do you always make my life so difficult?
Because it's fun.
Fine, I'll go talk to the gang. And like turns and walks away. Leaves. So like opens the door. Icarus is still there and he's like, excuse me?
Yeah. He'd step aside.
And it goes
And
through.
then when he's gone, he'll step back.
Yeah.
And the
He's
door gets
trying to
shut in his
listen.
face again.
And with that, we're actually going to take our third and final break for you guys to speak to the mayor and then and see where things go. So, go and get yourself a coffee, take a poop, whatever you're going to do. We'll see you shortly. Bye. Hello, everybody, and welcome back. All right, so you sit down with Aaron stands. The rest of you sit down with the mayor to have a conversation with him about everything that just transpired. And so he will he'll open up with oh shit, terrible person. I'm a terrible person. I know I've stuttered.
It has been months, so having like the name of every NPC, I think is not. I think that's okay. I think it's allowed.
Yeah, it's just terrible.
I actually have the name of the other
Not
mayor.
allowed.
Yeah, of course.
Like the rebel dude, but
Yeah,
I don't
yeah,
have
yeah.
the name of the mayor.
I think it's
Damn it.
Alexander.
I don't know any of these weirdos. It's
I
fine.
don't know, because the other guy's an A name.
Yeah, no.
Ivan?
Can't we-
Colony?
We can call them all Ivan. How about that?
Yeah,
No.
no.
Ivan 1, Ivan 2, Ivan 3, Ivan 4.
It's just there's a lot of Ivans.
Well, because the name of the capital is Slomani.
Shlomani. Broken.
Yeah,
I never
Slomani.
had that.
But
Shlomani.
Russian version of John.
yeah.
Whatever that is.
All right. Well, so his name,
I
because
bet
I'm a terrible
everyone's just
person.
called Lee.
You know what, Rick? I'll let you decide his name. Shoot, because I can't find it.
Mikhail.
Mikhail. So
It's different Russian, yes.
let's start from beginning. Hello, my name is Mikhail. Your names, aside from of course Sid.
Name's Carmine.
Constantinia is what you can call me.
Thank you. Carmine, you look like a trained man. Are you Alliance? Does Alliance still exist?
The Alliance still exists. I used to be a part of it. In a different life.
Retired soldier then.
Retired turned mercenary.
I understand. This is normal throughout history, yes? Okay. We just must speak of the elephant in the room. Constantinia. You are not human. You are not Bartirian. I heard the last part of Echolus's explanation. How long has humans interacted with your kind?
How long has it been, Scott?
It's been like 18
First
years.
contact
It's been like 18 years.
Yeah, something like that.
18 years.
It's like 17, 18, whatever it is. Shortly after we got stranded here then. Strange. Your people, they get along with my people?
For the most part.
I do apologize for treating you like strange beast, but to some degree you are. I've never seen anything like you before. As a matter of fact, we didn't know that that the Protheans existed until was still alive until we met the Batarians, and we confused them with Protheans. It was not a good experience. So now we understand. There were Protheans, or maybe still are. There are Batarians and apparently Turians as well. I knew of another one, Echolus's keeper, but we do not really interact with her. So, let's go to important things. There was Batarian vessel. It crashed. This was your doing? Gestures to the two of you.
Yes.
Carmine just nods.
For this, I give gratitude. I cannot say how much my people thank you for this. But why?
Well, it was a paying job, and I hate Batarians.
You okay? Gestures.
I'm with the Taurian military. Not currently on tour. It was a job. It was a good job. Saving slaves. I took it.
So, for you, this is a payday.
Yes.
I understand. And so you do job and you destroy vessel. How is it used to get off of this planet?
I wasn't expecting
Yes.
the other ship to crash.
The other crash was not part of plan.
No.
Not really, no.
And the other survivors?
Just me, him, and her.
Really? Oh, this is not good. I'm sorry for your losses. What you have done for us is again greatly appreciated, but I'm sorry for your losses. How does Sid tie in?
They were the first person that I happened to bump into.
Sid.
I saw their ships falling.
And so
So-
you go running in that direction?
Thought they could kill a few baddies.
Carmine kind of snickers at that.
Sid, that crash happened a good distance away. This means that you were not within normal perimeters prior to the crash.
No.
Off with your friends again.
Yeah, we're scavengers.
Yes, I'm aware that you are scavengers, but you have to understand that your methods are not very safe. You go too far, you push too many boundaries, you're going to lose your lives, and we need every youth that we have. Ugh, now's not time for lecture. You've come across them. Why to scavenge ship, and you see that still kicking.
Yeah, and I thought I brought them back. Get word here that, well, somebody knows we're here.
This ship, can we repair?
It looked in multiple pieces, but we might be able to scrap it. Thunder.
Wow, that's pretty intense.
That's why I was like, wait
It's
one
them
moment.
darn
I
thumpers
wait
again.
For this thunderstorm.
It was like
Go
it was
by.
like it was in multiple people. Sorry, pieces or whatever. We can scrap it. Like whoa, ominous. All right, so he's like, yes, all right. Well, this is of course with dear permission. Gesturing to you two.
I kind of do like the Torian version of raising an eyebrow at Carmen, which is kind of like a head tilt forward, I imagine.
This Carmine kind of locks eyes with him for a second and is like, that's what I wanted to talk to you about. You see, that Batarian ship obviously had a lot of souls on board. Our ship had a decent amount of people. It's not my ship. I don't care for it. So, if you would be willing to help my friend who is currently recovering from surgery and provide him with all the supplies we need and the rest of us, I would be happy to provide protection for you. And he like pulls out his weapon. Still like, it's not like ready to fire. It's not like locked out. It's just like he's showing it and it's like, my tech is a bit more advanced. It will help against these creatures of yours.
Yes,
I'm also willing to let you get any food, water, any other like building materials or other supplies from the wreck.
This is very much appreciated, and of course, your friend is safe with us. We will do everything that we can to make sure his survival. Now, as for protection, I don't think that we necessarily need it here. We have a decent guard. The issue is the ship that you shot down. There
Yes.
are more supplies there, but more than this, we would like to make sure it could never fly again. Is it also in pieces, or were they able to pull up last second? We don't know.
Their power core exploded. I made sure of that. They smacked into the ground harder than we did.
And they have other ships on hand. They can go and get supplies off-world and bring them and repair it. I would
think
like,
this particular ship is beyond saving.
perhaps, what I would like is if we can guarantee this and guarantee no survivors.
Carmine just grins at that.
Of course, unless humans that might be there, should slaves survive, we would like our people back.
Naturally.
This all being said, if you can find way off world, this would be different discussion and something that I would be very interested in. But for now, help with this, and you're more than pay your way for life. You destroy ship, you guarantee ship is down for good. You never lift finger again. You want to? Sure. But food, water, home, all these things provided for you, for life, as long as you live on this planet. And see it as well. See it. You finish job you start. Please, for you as well. Now,
Just waiting for the thunder. Sorry.
no, you're fine. So it's funny, actually, for you, Frank, because for Sid, it's one of those things where you're like, wait, everybody does work here. Even the mayor, who does arguably significantly less physical labor because he's handling other things, still goes out and does work too. Everybody works on this planet. That's how everybody's able to survive, is by pulling your weight, right? So the idea that he's making a deal saying, hey, 3 of you never have to work, but you can keep taking supplies is like a... Like, this isn't a fucking, sit in your ass kind of society. It's very socialistic in the sense that you pull your weight, you get your means, So, I don't know how Sid will react to that or give a shit about it at all. But, and I know obviously there's like things in the back of Sid's mind as well because of, your ship. So do we have a deal?
I'd be happy to help in any way you need.
Good. Then you must require a rest. You've almost died. Probably more than once. This planet is not very kind to anyone. So please spend night. But tomorrow, I, if I may, would like it if you left rather early. Get a footing out. We have a little bit of transport, so we can get you there a little, quicker than, say, just walking. But we want you to go to Vissel as quickly as possible so that we can guarantee they're all dead. Is this too much to ask?
If we take too long, the Batarians will go and either pick it clean themselves,
or reunite. Perhaps they already have.
Or worse, yes.
Yes, and then this task will be significantly more difficult. Now, if I'm completely honest with you, I would like it if scouting party got there and you bump into scouting party and kill them all. Please, all Batarians dead. This is good for me. I mean, I want to take out another ship? Please, shoot all the ships down. Kaboom, kaboom, kaboom. It's good news for all of us.
We'll see if we can add some to the death list.
Or,
And Carmine puts his weapon back on his hard point.
If you kill all Batarians but salvage ship, then this is way for maybe get off world. Just idea.
Does he have any Alliance insignia anywhere around the place or on him or...
On him? No. Around the place? No. Clearly old Alliance stuff happens to be here, but again, not really. It's not like one of those proud Alliance, because, even though these were the proud Alliance people that got turned on by the Russian, nationalists, the Alliance is more or less forgotten them here. They understand why, but you're not going to hold loyalties to something after 17 years or whatever. Or 20 years.
At this point, Carmine looks around and is like, a question for you then, Mayor.
Yes.
Old Alliance tech, Solarian buildings. Could you let me in on a bit of the background of this place?
This word Solarian. I've heard it before from Icarus. He said similar thing that this is not Prothean technology. He did not tell me. He told other, and word gets around if you know how and when to ask. So we assume this is Prothean because when we get here, they're always all we understand is Prothean of the racing galaxy. No Torian, no Bartarian, no Salarian, nothing like this. So we just take broken shit and we make it work. Similar to Mars, but more broken. Years pass, we meet Bartarians. Oops. Then there is Icarus comes at some point in time. Keeper gets him up and function. I don't know if he was already here, Salarian technology, or if he was brought here. He's pretty quiet as a robot. I just know that he works with another group on the planet, more humans. Anyways, it's just broken shit we make work. Yes? Protects you against the summer. It's a little harsh. Most people die within a couple hours in summertime if exposed.
Lovely.
Don't worry. We are in old Earth terms. We are in fall. Late fall, almost winter. It's a bit cool out there. Mind you, it's like you were sweating.
We'll manage.
It's like, yeah, 82 degrees. So cold. Thanks, buddy. So he's is there perhaps you have a better mind for these things? Perhaps something that's you know how fix? And even looks at the Torian and say, does your race, you Salarians, familiar?
I'm familiar, yes.
Does your people get along with those people?
Yes.
Oh, this is good news. Perhaps you have insight, things that we can do. Mind you, at a quick look, it's all shit. It's all like broken shit. It's like, well, that's nice.
There's absolutely nothing I can do to help this.
Not really, no.
Well, of course, try to maintain hope because you must, as leader of people. At the same time, you must be realist and know when shit is shit. Very well.
You said you've been here like 18 years?
Yes.
Carmine kind of looks around for a minute like, you've done well, given what you were handed.
We've survived. Best of ability. Best we could.
The spirit of your community is strong. You've done well.
Thank you for this. So they he is like Din Sid, you've been first time ever rather quiet. You okay?
Yeah, there's just a lot of thunder outside.
Are you a little scared? Scared little Sukum?
Oh no, I just haven't slept much. At all.
It was a rough journey. Sid was very generous.
Took me a while to get there and back.
If it wasn't for Sid, my friend might not have made it here, so I'm very grateful.
So, well, as am I. I'm glad that you were all able to survive. Your friend is not going to be able to participate in this attack. As a matter of fact, what we are talking about here is just 3 of you. Now, I am willing to send my men. You know how command? He just looks at both of you military people.
Yes.
Good. I shall send men with you to participate in this assault on this place. Perhaps things work out in our favor and it doesn't cost us too much. Is there anything else I can do for you before we retire for the evening?
That is all.
Nothing that I can think of right now.
All right, very good. You have a good evening. You may actually very limited living space here. You have two options. There is welcome to stay here, make comfort on floor or couch or whatever you like. Or during this last summer, we lost a farming family. They unfortunately stayed a little too late into summer trying to harvest crops, and they did not make it. If you would like, we can offer you their home just outside of city, and you can make that your own. Beds and the like.
Carmine looks to the groups like, what are people feeling like?
Well, you're not staying at my apartment.
Sid lives here, so Sid has her own place.
I have no opinion.
If it's more simple, then please, I'll have blankets brought down to you. I warned you, they're not very good. They're made out of old clothing, so... But a blanket is blanket, yes?
It will do.
Everyone here seems to scrape by. We can scrape by as well.
Well, you are gracious guests, and for this I deep down appreciate it. It is we have our own culture here, but of course we bring much culture from before. Those of us that were old enough to remember such things, yes. And I have to say that your graciousness is very much appreciated with my culture. You are good peoples, and I'm glad to have had the opportunity to meet you. You enhance life. Please, rest well. And I'll have some food brought down for you, and in the morning I'll give you a good meal. Sid, if you choose to go home, just make sure that you come back nice and early. I'll have a good meal. Yes?
Sounds good.
All right, and with that, he'll get up and he'll go over and like a firm handshake for each one of you. Actually, with the Torian, he goes to do a firm handshake, does like a double take when he sees how fucking massive your claws are and shit. But it's one of those like reaches forward, pulls back for a second, gets super self-conscious of the fact that he pulled back, and just kind of like goes in.
I'll like grab his elbow and like pull him in.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, and it's one of those like the whole time it was like,
You
oh,
son of a
I
bitch.
fucked this up. You know what I mean? Like I was like, oh, and it's just like this awkward moment. I imagine the humans see the awkward moment plain as day, but the Taurian is kind of like, humans. And he says his goodbyes and he leaves. And food is actually brought in by one of the guards only several minutes later. He doesn't go out the door. He just goes upstairs because it's where he lives. So he just goes up the stairs. And Icarus is still right outside the door. Now,
I'm
Ollie,
still standing outside the door.
perception check, please.
Okie
Gotta pull that Irish goodbye.
All right, so with your perception check, you were able to hear like about a fourth of what they talked about. So there was some sort of deal, things went well. The details are completely lost on you, but you're wicked smart, so you could probably put two and two together for the most part. Does anybody go and let Icarus in?
I would definitely at least open the door and be like, "You've been standing here all the time, haven't you?"
I've been waiting for your orders, Commander. Will you be needing me tomorrow?
Yes, we will be venturing out bright and early. They will provide transport, and we will be heading to the Batarian ship that crashed to make sure it's disabled.
Iglis sort of looks away for a bit and's like, I will be going home for the night. I will meet you at this point, and then like your Omni tool will like ping where there's like a place we can meet. Because my home's like the other side of the ravine.
And not far, but you need batteries. You need
Exactly.
batteries.
It's worth going back and if I can, I would try and go to the rebel town on the way.
Mm-hmm.
Even though it's the middle of night at that point.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
So why don't we actually take care of that? So, is there anything else that
I'll
you
stump
three
off.
need to do aside from like Sid going home? Of course, is any RP between the three of you or the four of you because Ollie's still here that you needed to
Yeah.
have before you kind of like went for the night?
I'm gonna pull apart the Turin at some point where we're like absolutely in private.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Just like,
Pull apart.
Pull aside,
Pull
I mean.
aside.
So that's what the kids are calling it these days.
I was like, Jesus.
it does sound sort of. Yep.
It almost sounded
I'm
like
gonna pull
it could have been.
apart.
It could have been like an innuendo too. Like I'm
Yeah,
gonna tear
exactly.
that up.
Yeah.
You know, like.
We're
Pull
going
that
in for the
aside
second contact
later.
war.
Shepherd.
Oh, jeez.
That's a good one. Right?
So before the
Colin
Torian
today.
pull aside, was there anything else that you guys need to discuss? Or are you pretty much good?
As long as Sid knows where they're kind of meeting up, she's just gonna pull an Irish goodbye and just leave without saying anything.
All right.
Well, there's gonna be food here in the morning, so.
I'm curious if that's like an American idiom or if that's something they say like in the UK,
What?
like an
It's
Irish
kind
goodbye.
of a thing. It's kind. An Irish goodbye is actually, to be even more racist. It's doing that in a bar.
Oh.
You know when you're like hanging out with people at the pub and then like you're just like, where did
Someone's missing.
Frank go? that's.
I mean, usually
and
you pull
and then
that
you like
shit.
check.
Usually
they're
pull
like,
that shit
"Oh,
like
I'm just
weddings or
on Netflix."
funerals you really didn't want to go to. You're just kind of like deuces. You know, like I'm good. I don't want to be here. I don't want great grandma to give me like another wet
I
kiss.
understand the point though, because like trying to say goodbye to everyone at the pub is just a long
Yeah.
and lengthy process.
Yeah.
I've always known it as the Irish goodbye
You're
or the French leave.
leaving? Come on,
French
man.
leave, yeah.
Another drink. All
Yeah,
right, so
it's just when you leave.
you just peace out. Cool. You're gonna do the aside with the Torian before we do Ollie's thing. So you rip apart the Torian.
Mm-hmm.
Carmine, is our intention to wait for another Victorian vessel and then take that?
It's certainly a possibility. I would like to see these people rescued from this hell.
Agreed.
But that was not what I wanted to talk to you about. It's clearly not escaped your attention that these people have never seen a Turian before in their life. They didn't even know about Turians.
It is very telling about humans that despite our past, they are still racist towards me.
I think that's just because everything on this planet is trying to kill them, and you are something different.
Wait.
The reason I pulled you
past.
aside is that I don't know your thoughts on the First Contact War, nor do I really care at this point.
The fact that you refer to one battle as a war is also very telling about your race.
Oh, that's funny. Just a reminder, though, Aaron, before you guys continue this RP thing, these people are from before the First Contact War and aren't even familiar with it ever happening. But go ahead.
That's why I said, despite their they didn't know
Their
about that.
ignorance of it. I misunderstood what you
Yeah.
said. I'm so sorry for interrupting. Please
Yep.
go. Rick.
For the sake of, well, your well-being here, I'm going to keep up the facade for now. That there was no First Contact War, or battle as you seem to call it. Just because it seems in everybody's best interest that you get to stay on our side. Once they
I've
get
seen their
out
weapons.
into...
I'm not worried, but thank you.
It's not really you I'm worried about.
That's fair.
Good night.
That was really heartwarming. That's like a future romance right there. That was really heartwarming. All right, so we're gonna flash forward a couple of hours. Icarus, who had already switched out a battery at some point in time, who's actually this battery is still kind of like running low, like down at like 23%, like one of those like another three.
It's one of those things where it's
and
like-
it starts to like reduce systems.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can get there, but you know, don't dally.
Yeah. All right, so going forward, you make your way to the other base.
Rebels.
Yeah. So when you get to the rebel base, the gentleman you're meeting with, his name is, because I'm not gonna even look that up right now.
I've got it. His name is Anatoly.
Anatoly.
Wow.
Yep.
I would just straight up walk over and open his door as
Yep.
well.
So you go over, open his door, and so he's actually like, because people saw you come. It's one of those, hey, Icarus, And so one of them, as you're like walking by, kind of calls back to you.
I'm also coated in blood.
One of them, yeah, exactly, calls back to you like, Icarus, what happened? You're dirty. Where are the other two? Again, their accent's way more watered down.
Yeah. I will explain this to Anatoly. It'll be easier that way.
Ooh, and they're kind of like, taking several steps outside of the area, looking to see if there's something following you. You know what I mean?
That's definitely the right reaction of that.
So you go to Anatoly's place. You literally just open the door and walk in, and Anatoly was sleeping because it's the middle of the fucking night. So you go walking into the place and see. He has the only actual structure here. Everything else is like much more flimsy compared to his. So you hear water, and there's like some noises going around, and a thump, 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 and like 30 seconds later he comes down and he's holding like a shotgun as he comes running around the corner and coming down. But again, it's a much older school one. It's not as good as, say, Lena. And so you come running around the corner. He comes running around the corner. He's like, oh, hey, Icarus, welcome. What is going on?
I got here as fast as I could. I have much to tell you. The area you sent me to go to.
Yes.
There is water.
Yes. Hold on. You're covered. You're disgusting.
It's not my blood.
Thank you, Icarus. But the other two is.
It is not their blood either.
Oh, good. I'm sure.
It is the blood of a human who came from off-world on a crashed spaceship.
You were there. You saw. Please. He starts to say, "Sit down," gesturing towards, and then he just goes over and sits down himself and pours himself some local made alcohol. That's
Moonshine.
Awful. Yep. And he sits down. Please.
The ship crashed while we were surveying the water. It crashed directly into us. I'm afraid the two you sent me with are deceased. I can tell you where their bodies are.
We sent them with good equipment. This equipment that they went with, would it still function?
Yes, their bodies are in a protected place from the elements. It is a very defensible position, and the water is plentiful, although it is contaminated.
Wait, ship crashed. Is it potentially? Could we salvage some from it?
He'll like look behind him, and be like, the mayor is already intending to salvage.
But the mayor is slow.
He is putting his priority first in the second ship.
The mayor is very slow. This other ship was Batarian, yes?
Batarian slaver ship, yes.
Good. Let him focus on that. We can do it this one. This one's human, so the technology would be a little bit easier for us to understand. So while he is distracted that way, we can do something over here. But then
You can do what you wish. I've already been commanded to assist with Carmine.
He's pulling that shit again. He's just coming in and being like, "Oh, I'm just going to for the greater good. I'm going to take your supplies for my people." I
do not care about your mayor. I am following the commands of the off-world human, James Carmine.
He never said his first name.
He says James Carmine.
Wow.
Wait. Are your circuits? Yeah. Are you function? How many fingers?
5. I do not see the meaning of this.
I think you've got a couple of bolts that are coming a little loose there.
My battery is low.
You should make your way home and rest, of course. But, all right. You work for me. We have deal with your keeper.
For the time being, I will be working for Carmine.
Immediately you work for him, but then you come back.
Most likely. I cannot predict the future. Not yet.
Can you show me best way to get to this not safest, fastest to crash?
Yeah, he'll do that. No complaint.
You know, he has his map and everything set that we discussed beforehand, so you like show
Yeah.
where it is, and he's like, and then the safest one, you show that one too. And he's like,
Yeah.
and then before you go, suggested methods for sending men, how many men, supplies, all these things. Calculate that out for me quick.
Beep boop beep.
Yeah, and just kind of like spit out all the information that you
Yeah,
think
yeah.
that he'll need to, and it's genuine too. You're not fucking him
Yeah,
over
exactly.
because a VI can't break protocol unless your new protocol tells you to.
I'm being honest.
Yeah. So so he takes all this information. He's like, and you're going to attack this Batarian ship.
The Batarians. The mayor wants to make sure that all of them are deceased,
That's
no longer functioning.
It's a good.
It is a good cause.
Could I ask one more thing before you go?
Potentially.
If you see anything that you think would really spruce up the place, do you think that you can either dibs or just bring it here, or just let me know where it is so that we can go and retrieve it?
I will dibs. I will let you know of the crash ship. I have no issue with this.
I have one more question. Nicholas, I know you're...
As always.
Mayor is going to be... Do you think he would be more or less suspicious if I send one man, two men, to go with your trip? Or do you think that would be bad and he would realize that I'm entrepreneuring?
I believe sending men to join my mission would not be seen as inappropriate. Although if you do scavenge the crashed human vessel, that may be seen as a mild declaration of war, and the chances of survival in a battle against the main city, your chances are low.
We clean up. You know that's they never know when we find things. We're thorough.
Nicholas nods.
So, good idea to send two men with you?
I don't see why not.
Are they going to end up like the last two men I sent with you?
I did. Icolus's head just like lowers. It's like, I did try to save their lives. Their bodies were fragile.
That's enough. I'll send two. Let's just keep details a little quiet. Can you clean yourself between now and then?
Yes, I intend to.
Have a good charge, then.
Piss off.
Yeah. So
Dismissed.
So you make your way back to your little home cave,
My house.
where people think that there is your keeper here still, but your keeper is no longer in existence here. You go over, you make sure that all of your information that you weren't able to just upload wirelessly is hardline uploaded into your processor, allow it to kind of like contribute or whatever, and you plug in to your little,
I charge.
and you charge.
I'm not a B1 battle droid.
It's totally what I was imagining.
Yeah, I know it was. There's not
Just
really
gotta
much
get it on the
more.
nose.
It's fucking weird.
Now this is pod racing.
God. I met somebody the other day. We're gonna detract for a second. Who I was talking about, how I met Zero Doxy, who had never seen the originals, and I was jealous. And I was explaining this to this other person. I was like, oh, I'm so jealous I never saw the originals. Like, I don't know what you're talking about. Number 3 is my favorite. It's the best Star Wars there is. And at first, I just wanted to break their nose and leave them in a pool of blood. But then they explained saying that I had never gotten into Star Wars. I just didn't grow up with it. There was this big hubbub, but I didn't give a shit. Never saw any of them. The first one I saw was the day after it came into theaters, number 3. I had never seen anything before, and so I always have this soft spot in my heart because it's what got me into the series. And they're literally like getting married and having a Star Wars wedding. And so it was like, okay, I get that. It's like, it's your heroine. I get it. You know. So anyways,
That's why I like Clone Wars a little more than I should, to be fair.
yeah. I mean,
It wasn't the first one I watched, but it was the first one I was like around.
it's the least bad of those 3. So, you know, the second one's the least bad of the 3 for whatever that's worth. But, so, they can have a secret wedding. So let's, back on track. You guys, you make your way there. You charge up, no problem. The 2 of you sleep and get your energy back.
Charge up, no problem.
Ollie just likes playing characters that don't sleep. So you charge up. You guys get some snoozes. Sid gets some snoozes too.
Wait, did Sid get to meet with her gang?
No. They left that night.
Good.
It's literally one of those things where they actually all left that night, and you know, even though you didn't see it, you know your friend was like, you know, going back in there, I want to go. And they brought him kicking and screaming to head that direction. Yes.
That's all that matters.
So
We will find Buddy along the way.
you guys
Probably, yeah.
pass out and wake up the next day and get together. What he has put together for you is it's an older human vessel. It kind of functions. It is think of like a large motorcycle, but that hovers. Like a larger form of motorcycle that pulls behind it. Imagine like you've been on like hay rides and stuff like that, like an open cart behind it that also hovers. It's used for transporting things. The issue is like the amount of energy it takes to power this thing is extreme. And the only way to generate that power is through solar. But like the solar panels that you have to generate the power to keep the certain parts of the city going, it takes forever to charge this thing. So it takes like several weeks to get the battery full. When the battery's full, it lasts for like a day. And then this thing dies again. So it's like super inefficient. And they only use it when they absolutely need to for like big projects that they're doing. So they get this thing all set up or whatever for you guys to be on there. And they're actually having sent out with you guys a group of 7 men. 7 soldiers, not all men. A group of 7 soldiers going there, and they're all coming in. And one of the things that you notice immediately, Sid, is that every one of them is equipped with the better weapons. Like either a weapon that was taken off of a Batarian corpse, or one of the higher tech Alliance ones before you guys got kicked out by the Alliance or whatever, the Russian loyalists, and everything, so that you can. So one of the things that you for the Russian loyalists or whatever, so that you kind of like all piling into this like hayride looking wagon in the back. So you have those 7 people. The 3 of you pile in as well, and then there's the one person that's going to be driving it too. But this person, Sid, is clearly like meant to be a pilot, is not really a combatant, and you can also tell because they don't really have a good weapon. It's one of those like, I'm not meant to go into that battle. I'm going to hang back over here. So you guys all get together. Before you even get into it, obviously, Rick, you check on your friend. Vitals are stable, so on and so forth. You chat with the doctor very quickly. They assure you that they're doing everything they can to make sure things go well with him. Whether or not you offered before doesn't matter. They make sure they give you back your kit. And he says to you, like, try to keep, our people alive. And then, you kind of like go on your way. The mayor is super appreciative. Make sure you guys have lots of food and water brought with you. It's, of course, their food and their water, which is chewy, bland, and not good. Dry. And then water, which just tastes like awful. Just really gross. Like, you ever, like, open a bottle of water and, like, you've, like, forgot that you opened the bottle of water and took, like, maybe 2 sips and you left it somewhere. Then, like, weeks pass and you come back and you go to sip it. You're like, this tastes like plastic. This is disgusting. I'm probably going to die of cancer. It's kind of like that, but, like, way worse. So, the water is just disgusting and discolored. You all get together and you're planning, okay, we're going to go here. But this is when you guys kind of chime in. Oh, we're actually supposed to meet with Icarus over here. We have to go there first. You detract out of the way to go pick up Icarus. You get there very quickly, which is nice. However, even though the trek to pick up Icarus is quick, it's using a lot of the battery of this like hovercraft thingy. You pick up Icarus. Everybody's surprised to see the 2 other soldiers jump on with Icarus as well. Funny thing about them, their equipment is way better than the people that you're with because they just know what they're doing. Even their
They
armor.
scav better.
Even their armor is better. So it's one of those things where like he just brought effectively elite soldiers compared to the schlubs with him. And it's again one of those things that Constantinia and Carmine would just notice instantly. Like, hey, I should just refer to you guys as CC. So that CC would notice instantly that they're way better. So they jump in, yay, and you guys continue pushing forward. This thing is going to hove and travel for the better part of the day, and it's going to run straight up until the batteries die. The bad side of this is that it's going to run until the battery dies, and then it's going to be stuck there until it can charge itself up enough to try to like hobbling its way back. You know what I mean? But it's not going to leave, before it can hobble its way to the rest of where you need to go. But it's not going to just leave you stranded. Their hopes are that you're going to be able to find a power source to be able to transport everything back. Whatever. It doesn't matter. You get a solid 3/4 the way of where it is that you need to go, all in that like 18-hour gap of travel, which is amazing. Because now, for the first time that you guys are like fully exposed to the elements, not underneath the brush and everything that you were traveling through before, you realize how horribly hot and arid this planet is. They said it's like late fall going into winter, and you're like, I'm sweating balls sitting here. This is miserable. And Palavin is not exactly a friendly planet there, Aaron.
Mm-hmm.
So whatever. Flash forward. You guys are going and whatnot to go all the way where you need to. Yay. When you get out of the vessel where you need to, where you're going to trek the rest of the way to get there. Could everyone just do me a quick favor? Just roll for me a survival, intelligence, or wisdom check, please.
I'll go for intelligence.
What did Sid do?
Wisdom, because, well, they're both the same for me, but
Okay.
wisdom.
So Sid is actually the one that spends more time. Sid and those 2 scavengers that Icarus brought with him are the ones that spend the most time actually outside of the city, outside, like actually exploring and scavenging and stuff like that. They're the best ones. So it's one of those things where as you guys are making your way along and trying to do the best you can, Carmine just using kind of like common sense and training, the ones that are the most successful is eventually Sid kind of like makes their way away from the group and kind of like realizes those 2 are not idiots and starts communicating with them and gets a decent rapport enough that they're actually working well together and leading the rest of you. And so you actually make decent time. It's going to be several days more travel getting from A to B. The problem is none of you have really traveled this far away from your little biosphere that you've survived in, out of the trench and out into this area out here where the ship had crashed. None of you had really traveled out here before. Out here, you notice there are different beasts that you hadn't experienced beforehand. You know of like the mammalian kind of creatures that exist out here, the cat-like creatures that exist here. But there's also a bird-like creature that exists out here as well, and you see it swooping overhead. Luckily, it hasn't attacked you guys yet. If anything's come kind of closer, 2 shots in the air scared it away. We're going to end the session here, where you guys are on a hill, still a good distance away, but you can see the crashed cruiser off in the distance. You've got a solid day and a half travel from where you are to Leggett to where the cruiser is. So that next session, when we pick up, we're just going to do that last bit of travel and have you approach the cruiser and see what happens. Awesome. Thank you guys so much. I'm glad we got to start the new campaign. Woo! Was it nice playing your characters finally? Again? Finally? You know what I'm saying.
It was nice to do things again for once.
Yeah.
Kind of forgot my character, so.
What'd you say, Rick? Frank?
Well, I kind of forgot my character, so. Like, I have to relearn who my character is now.
Yeah. Unfortunately, it's when you go long periods of time of creating one and not playing it. I'm not even joking. I'm glad we're ending right now, which will be done literally offline in a couple moments. I have to go remember how to play the character that I'm going to be playing on. Who are you, Ollie?
I'm Ollie. In 1 hour after the start of this show's season 3 is the start of my show's season 3.
Wow.
Yarvaskira Mother's Love, a whole new story with Scott playing a whole new character, with the rest of the characters becoming heroes and exploring the world a little bit more. And I'm saying enough of that right now. I also do other things. I'm streaming Lego Marvel on Tuesdays, Fridays, and Sundays at 9 p.m. BST because, you know what? I just like being a fucking superhero game where all I have to do is mash the X button. It's very satisfying. It's exactly what I need right now. And then I'm also on the Friday show.
Those Lego games are awesome, though.
They're just fun.
They're fun. They're great.
It actually takes like a conscious effort to not turn my brain off while streaming it. I have to like keep talking. Otherwise, I just like, hey.
Yeah. Rick, who are you? How can we find you?
Hi, my name's Rick. I also go by Derp Digital on all the things. I'm currently kind of in between things as life's got me kind of down, but things will come back eventually. You can always follow me on YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, that sort of thing. Derp Digital in all the places.
Thank you. Frank, you?
Hi, I'm Frank. I think I have like an hour worth of stuff to discuss. So.
Aaron, who are you? How can we find you?
I'm Aaron. I play RPGs. I'm here on Wednesdays and Fridays.
Yeah.
That's what I do.
Woo. Control Frank in the corner. He's the mod for the Space Vikings and stuff, and you could find him in too many places.
Pretty much control Frank everywhere.
Yeah.
Ollie's trying to get me to do a game. I'm probably going to do that game because why not? Warhammer.
Awesome.
Everyone die. Guardsmen. Fight. Death. Kill.
Awesome.
Mostly death.
And lastly, I'm Delric. Literally, because I actually tested this, not even joking, 2 days ago. Google Delric, and you'll see a whole fuck ton of me, which is awesome. So Google Delric, you'll find me. And I also just got Delric.com, finally live after way too long of saying I was going to do that. So you can even go to the website. All right, I'll catch y'all later. Bye-bye. It looks shitty on tablet, though. I have to fix that.
See you in an hour. Be there or be square.
Can I be oval?
No!